Hello everybody and welcome. We're D&D Boyband, a group of friends that all like to play D&D Pretty Boys because apparently it's not fantasy unless everybody's hot. We are one member down today and we are going to be down several members for the next couple of weeks. We do have contingency plans, but both Ben and Erin are going to Japan. However, joining me tonight, my name is Jamie, and joining me tonight are D&D Boyband, who haven't actually decided on a group name yet. There have been several band-themed puns posted around, so we'll see if any of them come out. First of all, Ben as Mercy. Hello.
Live long and prosper.
Erin as Toad.
Hello, it is me, your resident person.
Sai as Quan.
Hi.
Clued as Casimir.
Hello.
Wearing a very appropriate hoodie.
Happy Halloween!
Happy Halloween. This is All Saints Day, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
No.
still Halloween somewhere.
it's still Halloween in my heart.
Mm.
Halloween never stops.
That's not how time works. Eski is Paul.
I am. Hi.
Hello. Before we begin, we have a shout out on behalf of Ben.
Yes, thank you. Just a massive shout out again to our friends and sponsors, Harpscord, who we visited at MCM this weekend and were kind enough to hand out a load of Mystery Hero gift sets with some beautiful dice. Right now, test my camera skills. Can you see that?
No.
No, not at all.
All right, well, I'll post some pictures of it in the Discord. They are gorgeous rainbow dice. Big up Pride. I know it's November, but
Pride's
represent.
everyone.
And just wanted to say thank you so much for sponsoring us. Also, today I will be rocking this. Oh, can you see this? No, you can't.
What this?
Oh,
This.
don't- Oh, you gotta turn off the blur on your webcam.
How's
Oh,
that?
there we
There
go.
you go. So this is a special
Grandpa.
timeout chair, which I will be putting several dice in tonight if they do not roll well. Many thanks to Eski, dear friend, for this lovely birthday present. So those are my shout outs. Thank you.
Oh, I do have a quick shout out, but I forgot to prepare the artwork for it. No! OU, who's in the chat, or my beloved, commissioned some
Oh, you!
commissioned some artwork of Toad for me for my birthday. I don't know if we have permission from the artist yet to share it on stream, so I will confirm that, and then we'll show it on stream when I'm back from Japan. So, but it's gorgeous. I'm gonna share it in the Discord, so if you guys want to have a look, it's so nice. I love it. Thank you so much, Oyu, for commissioning that for me. It was very, very sweet. So, yes. Oh,
Wonderful.
and yeah, thank you to Harps Corp as well, who also handed out 750 of our flyers at Comic-Con. So maybe we'll make some new friends. So
750.
yeah, drop a comment if you are here because you found the Harps Corp flyers at MCM Comic-Con.
Thanks, Hopscore.
Yeah. DJ Eski, hit the next track.
I'm back to
Wonderful. Well, thank you very much, Harpsichord, and
Harps
again,
Corp,
happy
not
Harpsichord, you can't rename
Harpsichord.
them.
Harpsichord.
Harps Corp. Their last name is Harps or Harper or something, and it's a corporation. It's not a musical instrument.
Hopscord.
Harps Corp.
See, the reason I'm a DM is otherwise I'd get all the names wrong, and then it wouldn't be my world, and it would just be wrong rather than canon. This
You
is
can just
how-
rename your priestess to Sarah at a moment's notice.
Yep. It is Priestess Sarah. It's never been anything else.
Sure.
It's not been Elora rather than Elara.
Also, can I just show you guys, this is not sponsored. Ben got me this for my birthday. It's beautiful ukiyo Japanese blossom gem. I'm about
Ooh.
to try it. It's got a beautiful pink to clear gradient. It's wonderful. Anyway, that's me.
I hope it tastes good.
Thanks.
So, to catch everybody up, last session, you arrived in Reedholm, expecting to find the other group, and eventually you did. However, on the way, the town village has clearly seen its fair share of battles, has clearly been attacked multiple times. You spoke to a fisherman, who I don't know if I actually got the name from, but is called Jorin, who you pissed off a little bit, but it kind of answered your questions that Razor had been attacking. Give you some details about what had been happening, that she'd recently stayed here. And whilst that initially had been friendly, that had turned and she'd attacked the town, and the town had now been mostly defending them off. You were told of the Eel's End Tavern. You were also told of the chapel on top of the untouched, on top of the hill. A temple to Geb, you eventually found out, where you introduced to Priestess Sarah, where the other group was staying. The link between Geb and the Creditors Federation was clear to those of you with the knowledge of Lukai, and you met the other group, discovered some secrets about them, revealed some secrets to them, and the session ended with Arvis sneaking off. Not to come back yet, but not a concern. Arvis leaves for trips all the time. And you've just ended breakfast. The other group have decided to resume their long rest that was interrupted with Malik returning. And you have the day to yourselves. You do not know when Razor is coming, but you do have avenues to pursue and potentially stuff to find out before. But you do have to come up with a joint plan. Oh dear. For Razor, are you going to ambush her when she appears, or are you going to set a trap, or are you going to let the other group be bait, which I think is the plan you initially told Malik? Before that, you should certainly talk to Captain Bran. You should maybe visit Elder Gresham to see what happened on the night Razor attacked. You also learned a little bit about Razor's history from Priestess Sarah as well, or at least what she did here. Any reminders anybody needs?
Where's our rat?
Rat's gone missing. But you don't know that yet.
How long has it been since Arvis scuttled
Yeah.
off?
Like half an hour.
Oh, okay, that's fine. He's probably having a smoke.
So at this point, it's probably going to take at least a day and a half before it runs any suspicion whatsoever.
Wait, Eski, why are you so quiet? You sound like you're
Why
being
are you
miles away.
quiet?
Sorry, my mic.
Is your microphone turned the wrong way around?
Is it?
It sounds like
Okay.
you're underwater.
Am I still underwater?
Yeah.
Yes.
Am I
Oh, it started to improve.
still underwater?
Ooh,
It's a bit better, but
Oh.
you're still
he's
really
surfacing?
Hold on.
I got an
Swimming.
email.
Right
By the way,
now.
slightly campaign related. I got an email from ChatGPT about what I was asking it to do on Sunday, and apparently it violated their content segments.
What were you doing?
What did you? Yeah. What were you doing?
Really?
I asked it to write some fan fiction between Casimir and Pazul, and it didn't like it.
Wait, really?
Was it-
It's
And then,
just
Yeah.
he,
a fan fiction.
and then he asked it to make it saucier.
Oh my god.
And I was like, I'm sorry, I can't do that.
This has been flagged by our content team, and it may be inappropriate.
I mean, to be fair, listening to the fan fiction that you read out to us, it was pretty horrific, so I don't blame them.
Mm.
I'm
What you
kinda
should
sad I
actually
missed out on
do
this.
is get one of those like AI girlfriend apps and tell it to play the character of Fazul.
I'm not doing any of that.
Nobody liked that.
Yikes.
Anyway.
Yeah,
Okay,
let's go to the town and visit those people.
let's go speak to some men, yeah. Malik said he'd been to talk to Bran, no, but he didn't really give us many details.
He didn't know.
Okay. Alright. So, yeah, I guess we probably feel like we've exhausted the church, so it's the barracks guy and then the elder. They're different people, right?
Elgin, yeah, Captain Bran is the leader of the guard. Elgin is the owner of the tavern.
And then
Okay,
there's
so-
Elder
then-
Gresham.
So
You
realistically,
said that
though,
name.
our whole
Yeah. Elder Gresham is the owner of Eel's End Tavern.
has our whole
Elder
plan
Gresham.
changed.
Elder is ELDA.
So is that like
Oh,
old aggression or
Elder Gresham.
Elder.
like when you get to a certain age and you just get angry? Because I feel like I'm right there now.
Because we don't have anywhere to stay, right? The
No.
boys are in the chapels, so I guess we need to go to
But
the
like,
tavern. And...
isn't our whole plan kind of upended because they know now? Like, what are we actually gonna do?
No, you're just working together now, rather than like watching them go off to maybe die.
Oh,
We can
There
still
are,
do that.
yeah,
Less
there are
fun,
other
but,
people
you
in the
know.
town. Should you?
I was also fine with that plan, but
I know you are.
We can still do it, guys.
that's what fate's decreed.
What are you up to?
Well, I guess tavern, right? Secure ourselves somewhere to stay, meet the guy, and then head on to the barracks.
Can we not stay in the church
You haven't asked.
with all of our friends?
Do we need permission? Can we just like plop our shit down?
Actually, to be honest, we probably should stay where they are, right? Because we wouldn't
Keep
want to
an
be
eye on
with
them.
them when Razor comes, no?
We gotta protect them from Razor.
Razor comes.
Yeah?
Wow.
You're a paladin, man. You
Priestess
can't say
Sarah.
things like that.
What do you mean?
Priestess Sarah.
Yes, child.
Would it be possible for our group to stay here as well? We're quite good friends with the others, and we would like to be able to spend time with them and help protect your city from any threats that may be lurking around the corner.
Well, let me check. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of you. Yeah, 6 with the other one. Yes,
Oh yes, I
The-
think he's
the
just
hunched over one.
having a smoke right now.
yes, and there's 6 of them. And well, we only have 6. No.
We only have 6 rooms.
Well, currently, they're split over the 2 rooms with, I think, Malik and Fazul having their own separate ones. But after
Well,
us, then
Casimir
it's
can
okay
share
if-
with Fazul, and the rest of us don't mind sharing as well.
Why on
no,
the Kai
you,
would I
you'd
be
need
there?
you'd need to, you could be in one room, they could be in the other, but I'd need them to agree to it. They were here first. You know?
Oh, I'm sure they wouldn't mind. We're such good friends.
Yeah, but do you really think that?
Of course.
You really think we're great friends with them?
Absolutely.
Well,
Because-
I love the optimism, Toad. You are truly a positive person.
Thank you, Quan. So are you.
No, we are on the same team, Ilara pipes up, and it's good that we're all in this together now.
Absolutely, Alara.
I'd not
Yes.
noticed you 3 were this delusional in the last few weeks.
Being
Mercy just
Delulu is a
side-eyes
Salulu.
Casimir. Just like, what the fuck?
Casimir just looks at Mercy like...
I suppose we should go and seek their agreement. Toad,
Right.
I believe this might stand the least chance of failure if you were the one making the request.
I think that would be wise.
I'm happy to do so.
Do you go and wake them up again?
Absolutely. I'm going to interrupt their long rest again.
Bro, what the fuck?
Malik, like, angrily opens the door. You see this, like, hat on, like, robes, like, sleeping robes kind of put like, what is it, Toad?
Good morning. It's well, it's 11 bells past the hour, and I didn't think you'd still be sleeping, but any roads, I was wondering, our party would like to stay here with you, so we can keep an eye on you and make sure that you're kept safe.
I see. Fine. Is this the last request you'll have of me today?
Yes, that's it.
Fine, leave.
Thank you so much.
Move. Bye. And he slams the door.
Toad will head back downstairs and say, yeah, he said fine.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
absolutely.
Was he being sarcastic?
No,
Are you sure?
I'm quite
Would you
sure.
know? Would you know if he was?
Well, yes. I
Okay.
do know what sarcasm is.
Do you think he was trying to play a trick on you?
No, I think he was just very tired and didn't want to argue.
Maybe we should check the room for traps once we get in there.
I think that would be wise. Yes, yes. Well, that certainly saves us having to pay tonight. Good. It might still be worth checking out the tavern just to... Well, they tend to know things there, innkeepers.
Possibly
There
one
are,
or two of us visit the town.
to be
just
clear, there
because-
are other notable points in the town. You've got the barracks where you expect to meet the captain. You've got the inn. You've got like an apothecary / healer, and then there's the docks. There are obviously various houses, and there's the main like market. These are places you could go to. Sorry, for interrupting.
Mm-hmm.
just because I'm not quite clear on when Razor will find our new residential bunkmates.
I hate that you call them bunkmates. Sounds so domestic. I did have just to rehash what we think we know about Razor's attacks here in the last while. She's been taking people for purpose unclear, one assumes to dig in her dig sites. But we might do well to see if we can ascertain a location or at least a direction. We have a name, but not, I believe, the location. DM, is that correct? We don't know where Mountain's Breath is or what that is?
No.
Right, so if we don't have much luck in the town, I could always try some of the shallow graves at the front of the town. Maybe I could disguise myself as Razor. Toad, you could wild shape into her owl, and we can, put on a convincing little display and get their last orders from them.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Can you do that? Can you become a little owl?
Jamie, when I saw Razor's owl, was that an actual physical owl, or?
Yes.
So I should be able to wild shape into it, right?
Not unless you're a Circle of the
Oh,
Moon.
I can't because it's a flying creature. Could I
Could
like
Toad turn into it but not
not
fly?
Yeah.
Just
Like
run
hop around?
around.
I'll
Like a
allow.
chicken?
Okay, I'll allow
Like a
you to
penguin.
turn into. I'll allow you to turn into the owl with a flying speed of 0.
Oh my god, yes.
A chicken owl.
I'll be. That seems reasonable compromise.
Yes, yeah.
Well, yes, I should be able to do that. I won't be able to fly around, but I should just be able to sit on your shoulder and do bird things. But also, would that be required for the disguise? Because you're not just cast an illusion of some sort?
I
Because
could just do that, but I thought you might have fun being an owl.
I would, but it does take quite a lot out of me.
Fair enough, if that's a flippant use of your magics.
Toad, forgive me, but I think you mentioned you had some sort of aversion to birds or a specific type of bird. Owls are not.
Oh,
not
yes.
firing those.
I hate birds. They're the worst.
What did they ever do to you?
Oh, it's a very long story, and I just don't think we have time for it right now.
I hate to rehash past traumas. I really do, so...
There's generations of trauma.
Generation.
Generational trauma.
It's
Birds have caused
Generation
you
bird.
generational trauma.
me and my people, yes.
Your people are frogs?
No. Why would you think my people are frogs? Do I look like a frog to you?
I'm just thinking of creatures that birds are particularly.
I don't think you would
Inclined to-
understand. It's fine.
I-
Let's move on from this topic. It's quite upsetting.
Your people ever tried scarecrows?
I haven't actually encountered a scarecrow until quite recently. It's not really something we have around my parts.
Well, maybe you can bring that wisdom back to over there.
Indeed.
Anyway,
Where are you going?
team, any preference?
No preference.
So out of character, we're trying to gather information about Razor's recent attacks on the city.
Yeah.
or-
Yeah, so I'd say your two main things is Razor came here, she stayed in the tavern, something happened, and she attacked and is now kidnapping people. You also want to find out about the attacks, so that's probably Bran and the barracks.
So another clarification point. She was here, went to where we met her at Wraithwater, and now she's coming back here?
So you don't know when she was here, how long ago that had. I don't think that's been communicated to you. You're well within your rights to ask. But she is traveling all over the Stormlands, is doing things everywhere. She's coming back here because this is where the other party is coming, and she knows that.
Okay, okay. But so right now we feel like we're pretty confident that we are like a day or two's travel ahead of her to get here.
You must be, because she's not here and the other group haven't. But you don't know when she's arriving. As far as you're concerned, she could be arriving today.
Yeah, okay. Well, I think that perhaps it would be good for us to try to nail down some timelines on when she was here, and perhaps that'll help us estimate better when she might arrive once again.
Indeed, and furthermore, I want to know what she was doing in the area in the first place. Should we again fail to kill her with our friends at our side, the next thing we'll need to know is what she's up to so we can stop it. So,
Casimir. Or sorry, Your Majesty.
Thank you.
I had a thought. I know that you care deeply about this competition between us and the other party, and it's not something that I particularly care about that much. But, now that we may be working alongside them, perhaps you could broker a deal that whoever gets the last hit on Razor and ends her life is perhaps declared the victor. That way, if we do end up being in a situation where we have to fight side by side, at least we don't have to completely sabotage the other party, and instead they could help weaken her so you can get the final blow.
But then we would just be competing for it on even footings. No, I need to think of something I could stack in my favor. That feels too fair.
I thought that you said that they were weaker than us.
Well, they are, but battles are chaotic. Anything could happen.
That is true.
I'll think
Maybe
on it.
we should focus on the task at hand, which is defeating Razor, rather than who gets the prize money.
It's not the money. It's not about them. It's a little bit about the money, but it's about the accomplishment and the glory. The power it affords. It opens doors, Quan, that I need to not remain shut.
What
I
kind
mean-
of doors?
Influence. When you become the hero that saved the Stormlands, things become a lot easier for you, in ways that you can't necessarily handle by yourself as an individual. I
Very clever.
need that position of influence. I need it.
Do you need it?
Need it for what exactly?
Oh, so I can return home and kill the man in charge of the second preserve. I must have told you I was planning to do that. He says with, like, a pleasant smile on his face.
No, that's news to us.
You intend to kill High Priest Ptolemy?
Was that Alara asking?
Yes.
I do, yes.
Not sure what to make of that, honestly.
Set your sights high.
Oh, I heard of this guy, Joey.
Yeah, it's leader of the Second Preserve, very powerful leader of the Golden Order, rules Sacramar. And Basala.
Is he, like, powerful, or just a politician?
Politician.
Is he like an Archon or like?
No, not an Archon.
'Cause
Not
it
the
doesn't
Archon
have
of
a
the Second
god,
Preserve.
right?
No, it doesn't
Yeah.
have the Second Preserve does not have a god, so it does not have a god, does not have a plane, and therefore does not have an Archon. This is just a very powerful ruler of a fairly powerful organization from both the religious and trade and wealth perspective within Lukai, and a fairly powerful navy.
Okay. Is it so compared to its like?
It's like declaring you're gonna. It's like if you lived in Australia and you declared you were gonna kill the Queen. Like that, like-
Wow. Okay. So this guy is like the equivalent of a fairly powerful monarch, then.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I can't rule Sacramar while he's still alive, no? It's only common sense. I'll have to do it if I want to rule it.
Why do you want to rule Sacramar?
Because I'll do a much better job of it, obviously.
But I really think, though, Casimir, that there's other ways of climbing that ladder into a position of power. I don't think you necessarily need to kill someone.
No, I do.
I mean, you know, I'm sure your hard work and experience would be rewarded.
It won't be. There is nothing I could do in Sacramar apart from kill that man to get what I want.
Well, from my experience, there's always another way. A slightly less murderous way would probably do you well, I believe.
You must think he's evil, though, right? That's why you're trying to kill him.
Oh yes, obviously.
Oh, exactly. Well, then exactly the other way is just expose him. Show the world what he is, if he
Well,
is.
No one would believe me, and who on earth would
believe you.
listen?
And if we win, I'll be the ruler of the Stormlands.
How could you possibly believe me, Alara? Do you know how insane that sounds? A man you've known for 2 weeks has just told you he's planning to kill the leader of a powerful nation because he so happens to be evil, and you've gone, yes, Casimir, that sounds about right. Absolutely.
Well,
I'm
I
sorry,
trust
quick
you.
out of character thing. Alara's
Yeah.
just dropped this bomb of she's gonna be the leader of the Stormlands. Was this
So-
established at the beginning
Yeah.
of?
So to be clear, her or Malik, if whichever group wins, is basically being put in position of ruling this area. That's what the goal of this is.
That was never made clear.
That was,
Yeah,
I never.
To be very okay.
What
To
the
be
fuck?
clear,
Oh my God.
that whichever it's in the opening speech. I will read the opening speech again.
It doesn't matter. In the hierarchy
matter.
of
I'm sure you said it.
of like assassinating a like powerful monarch by one of our party members, it ranks lower, so we'll leave it for now, but to be returned to.
Anyway, Alara, I'll need your assistance. I'll need power. I will need money. I'll need backing.
Well, like Juan said, there are other ways.
Which I'll need equal amounts of power and influence to achieve. Probably more to take the circuitous route.
Yes.
Well,
Doesn't
the
it-
path worth taking is often the path that is more trouble and more work.
Why would I go for the harder work when I could just kill a guy and be done with it?
Because killing a person is not always the answer, Casimir, and is in fact often the wrong answer.
Do you think it's going to be easy anyway?
Oh no, it won't be easy at all, but it will be easier than the other route.
It's easier
I-
to do something rather than prove they're evil.
This one, yes, and I won't get into why, because ultimately we'd need a long afternoon for it, and it's not something I particularly want to share. But he deserves it. Mark my words. It'll happen.
Actually, Kwan, on that point, I have to say that I'm with Casimir. Sometimes killing is the answer. But my issue is actually with Casimir being leader. It seems to me that you possess neither the moral inclination, the skills, or the ability to
I mean, I don't have the
Properly-
skills or ability. How dare you?
properly rule a kingdom.
I
So,
have every necessary skill.
what makes you think that
What?
you're qualified?
I think this is perhaps a conversation better left for another day. Mercy, we couldn't possibly know the context behind Casimir's motives and the situation at hand here. Maybe we listen to Casimir when we have more time. And then we can perhaps help Casimir achieve what he wants to without making rash, immoral decisions.
Can't believe you don't think I could rule a nation.
I'm sorry.
Well, Your Majesty, all of you don't think I can rule my people either, but I still do. So-
Yet somehow you do.
The opinions of others don't really matter.
Who
that
are your
much.
people, Toad?
Ruling your people. Sorry, I'm. Did I lose a few days? I'm quite lost.
Well, we established a couple days ago that I am referred to as sovereign by my people, which is a ruler type figure in your cultures. So, yes.
I see. To be frank, I thought you'd maybe just eaten something a little bit off. I didn't think you were being serious.
Well, yes, I'm quite serious. I don't lie about anything.
So, Toad, if you are ruler of a people, nation, area,
Small commune.
why are you here?
Ditch.
Pardon?
I mean, if that is the case, why are you here?
Well, I am on a quest for my people.
To put away Razor?
Well, it's
Or
not-
is this a vendetta against Razor's owl?
No, I do rather
Yes.
dislike that owl in particular, but it's not particularly about Razor, although I think Razor might be involved somehow. I'm just following a bit of a gut feeling at the moment.
I see. Quan looks suddenly very worried for the team.
What's the name of your people, Toad? Do you have a collective name for your?
We don't really use names where I'm from.
Okay. How do you identify one another?
We just know each other. If you are in a family and you see each other's faces all the time and you know each other's voices and you just know who you're talking about and who you're talking to. You don't need a name.
Must be a very small village, no?
Oh no, there's hundreds.
Oh.
Of villages or people?
People. That I look after.
That's quite
Okay.
small.
Still
So
people
you're-
numberless?
You're a village of hundreds, beset by enemy birds, where you rule over them in a culture with no names, and you have set out on a quest to find a human aberrant for some unknown reason.
And your sovereigns have abilities similar to my own? Did I catch that right?
Yes, that's right.
Right.
I only
Well, your
believe-
sovereigns are necromancers.
Well, we don't use that exact term, but I think what you're alluding to, yes, we can raise creatures from the dead.
Sounds fun. I'd love to visit.
Oh, I'd love
Jamie,
to
have
take
I
you.
heard of a people like this?
No.
Stares at Toad suspiciously.
What we do know is that it's over there.
Thanks for listening, Pod.
Anytime.
Well, let's hope we're more successful in unraveling Razor's mysteries than yours, Toad.
Shall we get to it then? I think we were considering asking around at the tavern.
Let's do it.
We should
Right.
follow Casimir.
Yes, so, Quan says faintly.
I was looking a little pale too. As you guys make your way into town. Depleted as this town's population is, people are going about their day fishing, growing crops. Much of the trade has clearly dried up or gone. The people here are getting poorer, so they've mostly become subsistence farmers. So it's probably not a surprise to any of you who come to the tavern and it's boarded up. Doesn't really look like it's been looked after or inhabited, but there is like vague sounds inside of someone shuffling around. And if one of you knock, an old woman comes to the comes to the door. Kind of graying, mix of kind of grey black hair, weathered skin, very toned, and says, "Hello, what can I do for you?" "Hi, Elder Gresham. This is the Eel's End, well, which was the Eel's End Tavern, but now a bit of a rescue home for those who needed it."
Oh, so have you not got any drinks?
Some, but I mean, it's not in business, so there's quite a few beds of those who are sick and need care.
Oh,
Yeah,
maybe I can help.
Am I right in thinking this place was too stinky for the enemy party to stay at?
Yes.
Is that what they said? It smelled
Yep.
too bad?
What does it smell like?
That's slight. You know when like a wound is infected, and fish.
I can't imagine the smell of a wound being infected, actually.
Okay. Smell
No,
of-
that's not something I encounter on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Okay,
Rancid.
I'm just thinking of when Loki's injured himself. He starts to smell differently.
Like, maybe chicken that's been in the fridge too long? Is that...
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And fish.
Hey, fish smells just fine.
I can't believe you're coming for a boy fish like that.
Perhaps a small donation to your efforts to buy medicine or healing salves, and we could take up some of your time.
Most of the village is entirely focused on helping apothecaries, healers, blacksmiths. We're not really trading money between each other anymore, only outsiders, and I couldn't take your money so
Perhaps you might need a ship or a message sent one day.
I've grown up here. I'll die here sooner or later, but you don't need to pay me.
The
What
Lord's
is it you want?
prize.
Why have you come?
I'll
No,
take the
thank
money,
you.
Merty. If you don't want it.
You don't need it, Casimir.
No, I do, actually.
Arvis tends to need it. He asks all the time. You could offer it to him.
Where is Arvis?
Not sure. Probably.
She kind of comes outside and shuts the door and just look. They're all sleeping, and my apothecary's gone off to make stuff, and those that are well enough for fishing or collecting food. What is it you need?
We came here with a rather specific purpose. We were hoping for a recount of the evening Razor came to stay in her attack.
Sits on the ground. Are any of you good at healing?
Oh, I can do it.
I don't know what it is. There's some curse placed upon me, but whenever I recount details of that, she kind of points to her arm, and it's like heavily scarred upwards. Just lesions appear. I don't know what she did to me.
How strange.
Could I
So I just like
medicine
puts that.
check it?
Yeah, you can medicine check it. Yeah, absolutely.
Sure. Yeah.
Can I look at
I
it
have-
from like a
Go on.
bad flesh
Whoa!
kind of
Ooh,
guy?
It's an 18 plus 5, 23.
Oh,
23.
I think I'm beating that.
Smurf.
No, 17.
Okay. With a 23, so with the 17 from Arcana, this is a curse. This person's cursed. But from a 23 medicine, you've noticed that the wounds are coming from inside. It's not like they're being cut by like something. It's as if the blood or whatever is underneath is like being ripped outwards, and that's what's shown by the way the wounds are healing.
I don't even know what level I get remove curse, but only for a while.
Ma'am, is it only when you speak out loud about recounting the incidents, or does it also happen when you think about the incident?
Speaking.
Well, perhaps we could communicate another way that doesn't require using words.
I'm not sure if working on the nuances of whatever she's done to me is going to work. I would just appreciate the reassurance of healing once this is over. She kind of puts her hand out, like flat down for Pod to hold.
And it heals permanently once injured. It can be
Hasn't
restored
the
after
scars,
you've...
It's fine.
Right, but nobody's been able to remove it entirely yet.
No. So, I
So I guess Pod would recount what he discovered.
Yeah.
With like, the nature of the whatever the wound is.
The best we can do is heal it up if injury occurs.
Pod, while holding it, then effectively casts just a spell slot 1 cure wounds.
Sorry, wait. She's not currently injured.
Oh,
When you
okay.
ask a question, she will be injured.
Oh, I see. Okay, well then don't do that.
Can I spend a little bit of
Pod
time?
gives her guidance.
Can I do?
Yeah.
Can I try and read her weave?
Yeah, sure, go for it.
And I would like to try and see the moment when she received this, or like, what the circumstances of her getting this curse or whatever was. Nat 20. Thank you, Harps Corp.
Okay. Could you
Sorry.
roll your
percentile.
percentage dice?
78. Man, I
78.
love Harps Corp.
So, looking at her weave, looking at how she touched it, some of her weave is tangled and knotted. approximately 2 months ago.
Okay.
And it's been knotted unnaturally in a way you probably have never seen before, but your order is described as being is only possible by using other people's weaves. In some ways, this person's future destiny has been twisted using the energy of another's.
Do I know anything about that? Like the theory of using another person's destiny to
Yeah.
twist
I
another.
would like you to make an Arcana check, and those of you, Casimir, I'd say Casimir, Pod, and Mercy can all make Arcana checks to get into this.
Or plus 0 to Arcana.
I will be. Sorry.
There's a natural
That
2.
is a 9. Not particularly impressive.
Arcana is +0. Come on. Up scored again. No.
There's a 9, but yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'd say based on that, you might be able to reroll it in a second based on what she tells you, but I'd say based on that, you just know that this is possible, but you haven't studied high enough to know it, Ben.
Okay.
Sorry, and nothing comes to Pod or Casimir either. So ask away. Fought against the pain before. She kind of like braces herself. Are you going to do the thought thing?
Actually, that's a good point. If I detect thoughts, maybe I'll get more out of it without her, with her
You
saying
just start
less.
killing her every time she thinks she like triggers it.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Then he'll say, maybe I can try to shortcut some of this, and then if that fails, Toad, you can try your nighttime shenanigans. I'll cast Detect Thoughts and just see if we get anything deeper than what she says. If you submit yourself to the magic, it may be easier.
Sure, press ahead.
So did she, fail her?
Yeah, she
wisdom thing?
also fails if you're pushing. Yeah. And in her mind right now is Razor. And also you see her arm erupting in pain on occasion, as if like reliving past events and kind of, stalling herself for what's to come.
Okay, then let's start with the easy ones. What did Razor talk about when she came to stay?
So you're rather than answering, she's going to go and it says it's the thoughts instead are going to go to Razor and 6 or 7 others. The only one you recognize being Naliska. Arrive in the tavern, drink, laugh, ask the history of the town, engage her like any other group coming would, and don't actually provide much suspicion. And as a thought kind of goes towards what happened in the middle of the night, when she kind of heard noises coming from their room, that's when there's like a red flash inside her brain, and the kind of her one of the blood kind of erupts outwards. And she kind of
Casimir's narrating it to everyone what he's seeing in the thoughts. So we can see the 6 or 7 others, or I can see. Is there a physical description of who these people are?
There is.
Are they
indeed.
notable looking?
Let me find them for you.
I would have shared that thing about 2 months ago, by the way.
Okay, sure. So there is a drow amongst them, dressed in dark clothing. Much more kept in the shadows, more difficult to see their face. Is kind of wearing tattooed arms, down, kind of white hair, white eyes. Seems to be blind. There is a
Male,
half
female?
Zaran. So male. A half orc, female. Kind of clunks along. Seems to be wearing armor underneath her. Robes. Looks to be a bit younger than the others, somewhere between 18 and 25. There are 2 elves amongst them, twins. Both relatively tall, very pale. Casimir, to you, that bears the mark of interacting with some of the... that's an unnatural paleness to their skin. And then
Oh.
you also have two more humans. Both Garrett kind of bows. One seems to be slightly taller, male, fairly nondescript. The females, other than kind of again similar tattoos to the drow up the arm, seems to be a bit shorter, kind of blonde hair, except on one side, and green eyes. All hot because this is D&D Boyband.
Another
Thank you,
rival
Jamie.
party.
Thank you.
Another one. Okay, so he'll kind of give brief
And Naliska
descriptions of
and
all of them.
Razor.
Mhm. Okay, then what happened that night?
Okay, I'm going to ask somebody to make a wisdom saving throw on her behalf. DC is 12, and she has a
Yeesh.
+2.
Does she have guidance? Because Pod.
She does not. It's a saving throw, not an ability check.
I'll do a cheeky wee roll.
Could I give her instead of guidance? Could I have blessed her?
Yeah, I can. If you wanted to cast that spell slot now, that's
Yep.
fine.
Yeah, I would. When I said I would originally, I'll give her guidance. Instead, yeah, retroact. I want to give her bless.
All right, what's her modifier for wisdom saves?
+2, and a D4 now. So you need above a 12.
Okay, let me fish out a d4. Here's one. Oh no. I shouldn't have rolled for her.
What is it?
I got a natural 1.
Oh.
Okay, the intense pain in your mind, Casimir, and links to hers, all you see are daggers of red flying at you and her. Both of you, as a result of that one, as she completely succumbs to it,
Oh
take
no.
6, because I rolled a 6 points of slashing damage as both Casimir and this woman's arms erupt, and she kind of gasps and falls to her knee as she is on death's door.
Oh no! This dice is cursed. Ben, go put this in your little naughty chair for your dice.
Don't tap! Don't
2
tap!
seconds.
This
Okay.
is important.
And her glass says, I can't push through. It's getting worse. I'm sorry. She looks up at you, looks down and goes, sorry.
So wait, is she on 1 HP?
Yeah.
Okay, in that case, I auto.
She has 7 HP.
I think if she's on 1 HP, I auto crit.
Oh, nice.
So she will have. Yeah, she's just one with Cure Wound. She's just one shot back to full HP.
Okay. She kind of breathes, and you see like the arms like melding inwards, and she says, okay, if this doesn't work, I left their rooms exactly as I found it, and maybe you can gather something from there, but I need to rest before I try that again.
Are you sure? Casimir, he's going to crouch down and look her in the eyes, kind of clutching the arm, having also taken the damage, and be like, this is important. We're going to kill her.
Like,
And whatever
concentration check on
information-
detect or not?
Oh, is it concentration? Maybe.
Is it? I don't know.
I don't know. Let's have a look, shall we? Detect thoughts. It is concentration.
It is concentration.
Good
Yeah.
shout.
Before you try to bully an old woman,
Hang on. That's
It's
coming. That's coming.
persuade.
the dice will be going
12.
up.
It's a
Okay.
12. Yes.
Okay, yeah. The dice will be going up. It's now a D8. But that's fine. If you want to convince her, you can make a persuasion roll. Kneel down. This is important.
I do want to try.
Can Pod help? He's got a very comforting smile after healing her.
21.
A very,
Okay.
a very gentle, warm.
Advantage doesn't need
He's,
it.
he's going to lean down and just be like, and it's not that bad, is it?
You kind of see her arms are completely like they're almost just one knotted scar that's now here. Fight once more. She kind of puts both hands into Pod's now, and
Don't
someone
worry,
else
I've
can
got
roll.
Okay, Your Majesty, perhaps we could try another method of that doesn't require her speaking.
She wasn't speaking; she was thinking. So
Oh, was she thinking the whole
that
time?
was that was detect thoughts. Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
It's
Okay, sorry.
thoughts
I
as
thought she
well.
was speaking out loud.
Mm.
Well, the method that I could employ is not so much about thoughts, but about memories.
I suspect we might be signing all of ourselves up for the same pain. I experienced just what she did. And he'll roll up his sleeve and it will be similarly bloodied, I assume.
Yep.
Ah, I see.
Nasty curse that.
It is rather. Very
How-
interesting.
How powerful of a mage must you be to employ such a curse like that?
Nothing we can't handle, I'm sure. Now let's try again. What happened that night?
Would someone else like to roll?
I don't want to be the guy that kills her.
All right, I'll do it.
I have a D8 ready.
You'll know that you don't
It's
want
now-
me to
it's
roll
now
for one of
14.
those.
Harpscord have blessed us with a 14.
Okay, wow.
Ah, thanks, Harpscore.
So
Casimir, you
14.
see a candle held out, walking through the doors of this as Elder has got out of bed, has put on a robe, and is walking through, and the sounds of chanting, some incantation filled you. And this time the red haze doesn't come across you, and she's walking down the steps, and she can hear this, and you see her grumble like, "Oh, hell are they playing at?" So waking up an old woman, and you see that she knocks on the door, and the door, like the chanting behind it, immediately stops, and the door wrenches open to reveal Razor looking furious. Could I have another saving throw for the next part?
Ooh.
Can we quick
It's
save?
Sai, I think it's your turn for a saving throw.
You don't want me to roll the
You can
dice,
do
my
this.
dude.
You can do this.
Go
I
on,
believe in
got
you.
this. You got this.
For the
If you
Why
glory.
fail
why can't I
this,
use,
Pelor
why
isn't
can't I
real.
use my modifier? Like,
You shut the. You.
It's only when you roll for yourself that it goes bad. If you're rolling for someone else, it'll be fine.
Yeah, true.
Don't forget, she gets a D4 as well.
She does
Believe.
good. So you
Yeah.
need
So what's the modifier?
you need 14. You have a +2 and a D4.
Okay.
So you need a 12 total.
18. Okay.
Dick.
Smurfed
Mrs.
it.
Razor just says, "Why do you disturb us?" You're making noises. We have other guests. Please keep it down. And Elder peers through, and on the floor you see various runes inscribed on the ground in a circle. There is a figure lying down in the center. Each of the others, you see a couple of the figures you met before sitting down around it, with the two pallid elves in the center, hands outstretched, chanting over this body. From the body's mouth, you see a trail of blood leading from the mouth up to their fingertips.
Blood magic.
Would do my studies as a necromancer give me
Okay,
any insight
this
into what
time-
is happening?
You, if you're narrating this, everybody, even Quan, this time can roll an Arcana check to know stuff about the world. Even Quan, because Quan's just his memory is not.
You're so rude.
Hey, I rolled an 18.
It's alright, it's 22.
I rolled
I would have heard.
I
I
rolled
heard
a
something in a
natural
tavern
20. Woo! It's not even my birthday nat 20. It was an
Okay,
dice nat
Mercy, what did
20.
you get?
I got a natural 18 from
I got an 18. as well.
Harpscord Gay Dice.
I don't want to
Okay.
talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Quan, I'm sorry, you don't know. Other than blood magic's evil. Great. Casimir, what did you get?
22.
22. Okay, for 18 and 22, which I think is 3 of you, blood magic is very powerful. In Lukai, spells that kind of go a bit beyond or require specific channeling of certain planes or specific times of year are imbued by that plane's magic. They are stronger if you cast it nearer to that plane, or it's only possible to cast during that plane's time, and it clearly draws upon the power of that plane. Blood magic is very powerful because it's almost like a universal catalyst. Blood magic can be drawn to perform any of those spells. It's like as if the essence you draw from people can be molded to fit any magic that is required. If you're going to it's particularly evil because obviously it often requires a sacrifice. But also because of that, it has been used countless times to cast spells or things that shouldn't normally be possible or are normally out of the reach of people. So it is both fairly prohibited, fairly taboo, but also fairly powerful as it draws on individuals' natural life ability, and then that essence, that magic, seems to be able to attune to any plane at any time.
So it's get shit done magic.
It's very much, yeah. I don't know if catalyst is the right word. Solvent. I don't know. I'm trying to think of a scientific term for something that can change into whatever's needed at the time. But it's basically, this magic is only employed by people who are trying to do things beyond what is normally possible within the realms of the Kai, or is only possible at certain times of year.
So when you say it's fairly prohibited, do you mean it's prohibited or it isn't?
No, it's like it often requires a sacrifice, and therefore it's prohibited. But the reason it is illegal, it is heavily, like, its research is generally discouraged as well.
So these runes, James, as Captain Nerd and so I'll A, remember them because that's what I do, but B, can I tell what's happening?
So let's take a step back. With a natural 20, often it doesn't require the blood to be drawn from somebody. So whilst this is clearly an attempt at blood magic, there's something else going on here. Toad, you don't know how you know that, but you recall that often, the sacrifice is enough, but the blood being drawn clearly means there's something else going on, which the runes, Casimir, from the vision you're getting from Elder, there's not enough. You need to inspect the room.
Okay, cool.
Okay, I would share that with the group. There's something not quite right here. If she's doing blood magic, she wouldn't need to draw the blood out of the bodies. There's something else going on here, but I don't know quite what.
A universal reagent. Thank you, Matt.
So this is like nuclear magic. They split the person and use its essence to power stuff.
Yeah, or more like the ultimate flex tape. No,
like duct tape for evil rituals.
Duct tape.
Okay.
It's a hot glue gun.
Would this blood magic conversation put into context any of the using someone's destiny?
Yeah, this would. You'd understand that one of the few ways to do what has been done to this person would be by stealing someone else's destiny to tie someone else's up.
Okay.
So you would perhaps conclude that whatever this ritual's outcome was, it was redirected to curse this person to never talk about it or think about it again.
Okay.
So for the people who are not as smart in the room, blood magic is bad.
Blood
magic requires
a sacrifice. Yes.
Or death. We see Razor performing this.
No, you see some of Razor's followers performing this on one of the nondescript humans from earlier.
And something spooky about this. What's the relation between the blood magic and the curse that's on Elder?
So, the curse is probably only possible via blood magic. That's what the connection is.
Okay, got it.
But the original intention of the ritual, you can't discern from Elder's viewpoint.
So, ma'am, the room that they were doing this ritual in, is it upstairs? Can we go look at it?
Yes. Oh, I don't like to relive it. And come with me, and she will take you up to the room, which, other than the body being cleared away, has been left. And there's vague, 2 months worth of dust laid around, and a couple of footsteps where other people have clearly come in to look at here. But on the floor, there are these runes inscribed that are slightly brown now, as the blood that was on them is drying. The room is heavy, dank, wet, and there is an unmistakable thickness to the air that doesn't seem to be going away, and all of you feel slightly on edge standing in here.
Casimir looks
who enjoys
way
it.
too happy. He looks so excited. He's like a kid in a candy store. Like, this is incredible. How fortunate to come across something like this. I've always wanted to try blood magic, but now I can study it from a safe distance before anyone has to die. Fantastic. And I'd like to busy myself investigating the room and the purpose of the runes and everything. Anything that he can read, he'll try.
Sure. Rest of you, what do you want to do?
Ma'am, The body that was used, where is it now?
It was gone. I ran upon what I saw inside,
Right.
and that's when Fraser's men attacked the town.
I see. So, most likely, Razor's people took the body with them, or
Yes.
used it up somehow.
So,
I
you think
presume
they
so.
attacked the town because of what you saw?
Maybe.
How quickly
They
was
tried
the
to cast
attack
spells on me,
after?
but I ran to wake the guards, yelling, and I came back. They'd killed a couple of people already and were fighting their way out.
So would we think that this curse was instead of the original purpose of the ritual, or can both get done?
Depends what the runes say.
Alright! What do they say?
So those of you with magical inclinations or I think can definitely make an arcane check.
17.
That's the
Investigation check.
worst that can happen.
Rolling bad. I have a big arcana
Oh,
score,
such-
but
I got
13.
4. I don't know shit.
4, 13. And Casimir? Toad, are you rolling or
17.
not?
Yes, I will roll as well. D20.
20? Oh,
Sorry,
D20 or
You said D20, right?
plus your arcane.
Arcana.
Ooh, I'm rolling nice tonight.
Arcana.
My dice know it's my birthday, but they don't know I got a natural 20 I can use later.
So what do you roll, Toad?
Hold on, I just need to check what my Arcana modifier is. Give me a second. I rolled a 17 plus my Arcana modifier, which I believe.
You have a plus?
No, it's a 0.
I was gonna say, where do you have arcana?
I don't know.
Why do you have intelligence?
I'm used to having Arcana on Hayden.
Okay,
it's just a
17, 13, 4. Okay, Casimir, what was yours?
17.
17.
Wait,
Okay,
wait. Do I have the spell prepared? Do I have the spell prepared for
Can I interject with a question?
yes.
Bless affects 3 creatures. Would Casimir be one of those creatures who was blessed?
Sure.
Sure.
I mean, he was the one detecting thoughts, so yeah, that makes sense. And then I guess.
Woo! Okay, D4.
I
Who would
guess
be
I
the
would
last?
Probably blessed myself. I
But
guess, is the
bless
last one.
isn't ability checks, it's saving throws.
Yeah, it's specifically saving throws. Guidance is. I'd have to break bless.
No.
Wait, no, bless is everything.
Yeah.
No, bless,
no.
bless is ability checks, no?
It's not ability
No.
check.
No.
I think it's attack rolls and saving throws.
Yeah,
You
just-
changed it out. Anyway, we'll go with 17. Both of you, like Casimir, you know from your studies that whatever language blood magic is written in is a language long lost to history. It is not a language anyone speaks or fully understands. So the rituals and runes have been worked out from very, very old carvings or simply guessed at based on etymology of the words in the languages. Toad, for some reason, you recognize some of these. Preserve, maintain, Casimir, the same words to that effect. You're unsure, but you might conclude, based on some of your intelligences, that whatever the ritual here, it was meant to maintain the power from the ritual to be used at a later time.
It's like charging up a ritual battery.
Yes.
Charging up power banks.
Hmm.
I can power their iPhones at the con. Ah. So I don't think we've seen the full effect of what this was meant to do yet.
I'm quite curious why Razor chose this location to do this, or Razor's followers, I suppose.
It's a
Is
very
this-
good question. Toad.
Is there something special about this place, or was it just the first private location that they could find?
Why do it in a town?
Ma'am,
Yes.
has anything strange happened here before Razor's people came here? Any hauntings or unusual occurrences over the years?
You said she asked about the history of the town. Was there anything that might have inspired her to use this as the site of the ritual?
I'm not one for history. I can barely read. I didn't have much to answer. Not around many hauntings. No, we're a fishing village. We prospered for some time before this.
Do you know anyone who might?
I mean, many of the people who have means have less, but I guess Eloise is the local healer. She's one of the most learned. Captain Bran, his family's been here for a while.
Also, question, DM. Did we see who it was that got killed?
Yeah, one of her followers, or one of the people who was with her, not a follower.
So, one of Razor's crew, not like a townsperson.
Yeah. But
And how would we know that? Because of the way they're dressed, or?
they were with Razor and were sitting with her in Elder's thoughts. However,
Right.
probably reveals some of you might put two and two together about why people are going missing, perhaps.
Yeah.
And what their purpose might be.
So she's taking people to be used as some sort of constant fuel for ongoing rituals for some unknown purpose.
The knotting of the weave by the use of perhaps only one ritual magic. Mercy, your mind immediately goes to what could happen if multiple people channeled into the weave at the same time. At Casimir, it goes to some grand ritual to, Casimir probably thinks of Lilith ascending to godhood immediately. The rest of you only ponder what unleashing potent magic all at once could do.
This is absolutely insane. Ilara, did you have any idea of the scale of this mission when we were sent on it?
I mean, it's always been to kill a dangerous bandit.
This is a bandit who's casting blood magic rituals with the capacity to match what Lilith did, given enough time and death.
Well, if she's going to ascend to godhood via killing people, then she definitely needs to be stopped. But I don't think she's doing that, is she? I mean, Lilith was an arcane practitioner for hundreds of years. Razor isn't that.
No, but Lilith is guiding her. I don't think it will be that, but it will be on the scale off.
Razor might not be the person who's going to use this magic.
It may be she's after, we assume, the Whirlwind Lantern, the artifact that can control Lakai's weather. Maybe it's necessary to activate it or control it. Also,
Could
no
I-
indicators. Go on.
Could I insight check Alara in terms of like her response to knowing anything about this? I assume she's telling the truth, but
Yeah, go for it.
$14. And like obviously like how flustered she is
Yeah.
knowing, like,
Alara's been fairly flustered. She's a bit creeped out by this room. She's overwhelmed. She's not lying to you.
Well, we better find what she's up to in the local area. Stat. Elder, do you know what Mountain's Breath is? Where that might be? Any dig sites?
I'm gonna make a roll for her. Mountain's Breath. There's far to the northeast. There's a couple of sections of the mountain that have jagged holes that pierce the mountain range, and the air almost whistles through it. Some people used to refer to that as mountain breaths in times gone past.
That sounds like a good place to start. All right. Thank you.
I appreciate the healing, and I hope you're successful. I hope I never have to relive this. I can burn this place down and start again.
I hope to be good enough at this to remove that curse, frankly. Rather frustrates me. I don't think I can.
Maybe one day.
Jamie,
Yes.
what level, and I don't mean that in a mechanical term, but like what degree of experience of Weaver would be able to undo a destiny used in this kind of afflictive manner? Is it something that Mercy would know? Like, are they taught and then you get better, or
Yeah,
is this practice?
Mercy would know that, you'd need this is a curse, and it's been a curse placed on somebody's destiny, and therefore it could be removed by somebody who is proficient in removing curses. It's not that strong a binding that you saw on the Weave of the natural 20. So you'd need to call in a cleric of Savras of a certain level, like an inquisitor, an adjudicator, somebody of that level rather than an agent.
Okay.
If you feel so inclined. And Oxel couldn't either, as an example, because he's more up your line of progression rather than the cleric side.
Okay. So it's quite, this kind of thing would be quite specialized in terms of...
Yes. But it's also, you look at it and like, this is a problem, but it's not a problem. Like, her weave is unfortunately insignificant to the grand plan. So whilst it's unfortunate for her, I don't think you feel compelled to fix it beyond wanting to undo an unnaturality rather than, to be honest, Mercy would be more inclined to kill her than fix it, but Mercy might not see that as necessary.
Okay.
Okay, well, I'll copy down the runes into the book for later pondering. And there's nothing else there. They didn't leave any personal effects or anything in the room.
That's an investigation check for all of you if you want to look.
I will help.
Sure. Investigation.
Hmm.
And these in. Oh, nat 20. Easy.
Yay!
Yes, let's fucking go. We're
15?
rolling well tonight.
Something.
19.
Well, sorry.
Whoa!
Okay.
Into the bottom of this.
One of the floorboards creaks as Pod steps on it. And as you kind of scoop down, there is a scrap of paper that has been dropped to the floor. And on it, it bears Naliska's handwriting.
This guy.
It's an update. And the name that you... sorry, let me remind myself. It's an update that some of you would recognize. It's a letter to somebody named Infernus.
Ooh.
Infernus, huh?
With the Sulfur Syndicate, maybe?
Is it a hot devil, maybe?
Mercy, you know this name. Casimir, you also know this name. Because it's addressed by the Precon Archon. It's the Archon of Asmodeus. Prefacing as to being unaware of where the emissary has gone. That was sent to Razor. And some of you would put two and two together that the devil you've been captured was in some way connected to Asmodeus and this Archon, and that Naliska was lying in this letter about not knowing where it was gone, if perhaps it's the same person.
Naliska kidnapped him?
Naliska has kidnapped Varos, who was seemingly sent by Asmodeus.
Do you guys read this out?
Yeah. Mercy share, it's a...
Okay, so this is a bit of a interesting one. Why don't we let Asmodeus know what's happening?
I was just thinking that.
Because I feel like that Asmodeus wouldn't be very happy with Razor and Razor's people lying to his Osmodeusness. And,
At least the Archon.
no,
Archon
to
and
set the
Furnace
scene,
would love to know.
Asmodeus sits as the opposite to the high heavens. Not in the sense that it's the hell in the sense we intended. The realm of retribution exists to punish wrongdoing. To sit as the stick for Lukai's carrot stick, as you were. People are sent there, they are put on trial, deals are reinforced, consequences are upheld. They are ideals in the sense that this is where the other side of justice, to Helm, to the high heavens exists. If that is what you aspire to be, this is what the consequences are. Asmodeus is not evil in the sense that, he's cruel for the sake of it. It is cruel because you deserve it.
Jamie.
Nick, what's his Archon like?
You don't know.
Is he a public figure? Not really.
Not so much. Rarely leaves the Infernal Consortium.
would we discern from the letter and the circumstances so far that the Archon might be the guy that we freed from?
No. So that's not the Archon. It's Varus the Fatebinder. From this letter, you would infer that the emissary that was sent to Razor was probably the person who was imprisoned. Yeah, I would say that Asmodeus is kind of atypical. If you haven't done anything wrong, you've got nothing to worry about.
And I guess now that we've freed the emissary, he will have gone back to the Infernal Consortium and probably they know what's
Perhaps.
going on.
Jamie?
Yeah.
From where I am from in the world, and also from my time in the courts, would I have ever encountered Asmodeus or his ilk?
You would have encountered Asmodeus as in the ilk. Yes. You would not have encountered Infernus, but you know that devils as they were, and some of the other members of the Infernal Consortium have emissaries, representatives. They are generally used as a kind of final arbiter or binding agreement. If you want to make sure an agreement is carried through, you can have it signed in the presence of an Asmodeus representative, and then they will uphold it. You also know that some people who have committed acts beyond the pale for most of the Kai, it is Asmodeus's and his agents' jobs to apprehend them. You also know that they also deal in deals of fate, power, discussions around that. So for your capacity, you wouldn't ever have needed them. They would have just been a charming person at a party. But to the rest of the Kai, they represent kind of laws enforcers, as well as a kind of lender or deal of last resort.
They're the devil police?
The pigs.
Kinda.
The popo.
The popo.
You fuck up too bad, Asmodeus is coming for you.
Why isn't Asmodeus coming for Razor, huh?
Maybe he was.
Maybe he was. Maybe the emissary was. Maybe
Jamie,
he is
can-
now.
Can I take out the sending stone and send Yasivu a message?
And also, right? Or
If it just goes to Andarax.
it does. That's the other side. Sure.
Fair enough. I will send them.
And your
And
sending stones only work with one person.
That's fair. And I will. I'll say it out loud in front of everyone, except the woman. Hopefully,
You've left.
just us. Maybe Alara doesn't have to hear it, but I won't be fussy about that. Okay, so Atropos says, Oracle. Destiny's design grows ever darker. Blood magic used by Razor and evidence of weird rending. Emissary of retribution sought as source. And others. Send aid.
Okay.
Do we hear that out loud?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Using what?
Weird rending.
What did you say
Weird
at the
thing.
end, Ben?
Weird rending.
As in
Uh-huh.
weird, like Weird Al Yankovic.
As in WYRD. As in
Oh.
Destiny.
Oh.
I see. Never mind. No further questions, Your
No.
Honor.
So, there is no response from the center.
Motherfucker.
And
Dick
as
is out of
you
office.
guys perhaps discuss this, I'm aware of the time. We'll be back at... Do you want to take a break? Back at 9:05?
Sure.
Back to
Hello!
D&D.
Welcome back to Zone Back In. You guys, to make it consistent, have left the tavern. You are standing, you are talking about what has transpired, what has happened. Mercy, you have sent a message to Vanderswell, which has not been responded to.
Has this ever happened before? Has
No.
he ever blanked me? So I think this is weird, right?
Been
Yeah,
ghosted
you
by
think
your boss.
immediately you are like, this is weird.
Do I know if someone is dead? Like, is this like a case of being not replied to, or is their phone turned off?
You don't know.
Okay, cool.
You're not that strong enough in weed reading.
Fine.
As we're leaving, Casmo would turn to elder and just ask, did another group of outsiders enter the room by any chance?
No, not yet.
Oh, one sec. I think I forgot something. I'm going to go upstairs and prestidigitate one or two of the runes away, maybe all of them. I'd like to sabotage them.
Okay,
Just do a bit of cleaning, you know.
sure. And absolutely.
Great.
I'm just gonna make you take a psychic scream. No kidding.
I don't know how good Nalos is at this stuff, but you know.
Sure. So, the room is cleaned. Where are you guys going?
So how existentially disturbed do we feel, party? Do we want to keep on? Talk to Captain Brand maybe about the defences. I'd like to talk to some dead people outside, but...
Well, I think I might know what is happening. The disappearance of people, combined with the captive that I now realise the intention for them, I believe that they were all intended as, well, sources for this blood magic.
And it seems she's captured rather a few people from this town, not to say nothing of others. We ought to confirm where she's taking them. It may or not be Mountain's Breath. So perhaps we ask the captain if he has any information as to where they've gone. If not, we can try the dead lackeys outside to see if we can get more information. And call it a day?
I also think that that is a good idea, but we should not be... Our strategy for potentially engaging Razor must now be one of great caution. The power that she and others of her cult may now have is formidable. Not just magical potential, but weave potential. You think you are winning. You think you are about to strike a fatal blow, but in fact, you trip and impale yourself on your sword. Your shield breaks at the opportune moment. This kind of thing. There are curses and manipulations to your future that are now within her grasp that, again, we cannot comprehend.
All very cheerful an outlook, isn't it? When we fight her, which may be today or tomorrow, we'll at least have 6 other idiots who can die before we do. You can't alter all of our fates at once. It'll be fine. We'll win. But if we don't, we'll have our backup plan and information to chase her through.
I would think that it would be prudent to all agree that if things begin to look bad, or they are not in our favour, that we must live to fight another day. You saw the curse that was laid upon that woman. Imagine that times 10, times 100 on each of us.
I definitely do not have the kind of magic to be able to undo that.
You want me to
Unfortunately.
surrender?
No.
No, we must stop it.
But I'm trying to be realistic about the foe that we face.
And on that note, what does concern me is Razor does seem to be very familiar with this area. I mean, she's cast her ritual here. She clearly knows what she's doing. I feel like we should probably find out a bit more about the nooks and crannies of the town if we are to try and prevent her and not be offering ourselves up as her new sacrifices to fuel her blood battery.
And I would like the captain of the town to be at our side when we defend it.
We're gonna need all the reinforcements we can get. In fact, this
Aye.
might be a time where, out of all the times you've been with him so far, this whole revelation, this is the most serious you have seen Pod be. Ever since the blood magic revelation. He seems genuinely concerned.
Well, I hope so, Esky. That it's quite a serious topic.
No, but he normally seems not nonchalant, but like, he seems unbothered by a lot of things. Even during like the time where we went through Razor's camp and the storm giant, like he never seemed like he was particularly frightened or anything like that or worried. But here he seems genuinely kind of he's got a furrowed brow and he looks as if this revelation has affected him.
Juan also turns around and looks at Toad and he puts his hand on Toad's arm and says, and I'm sure you acknowledge this, Toad. I know that you mean generally the best, but given that we know someone is perhaps on Razor's side, we should probably avoid telling any of this information to our friends back in the chapel, in the temple, because this is rather more serious than we first anticipated.
All clear. I understand.
Great.
It might be worth telling them at some point, but certainly not where Corin can hear. Right. Captain Bran it is.
I will say, though, the fact that I so openly said, Razor's coming, we're here to save you, perhaps would make Corin think that we aren't onto her.
It's true, we did let her have breakfast with us.
Mm-hmm.
Did you seem nervous to any of you?
Jamie, do you remember her acting nervous at all when I barged into the room?
No.
I think she was normal.
I think you said she was.
I think you told me that she seemed nervous that we were.
When you barged into the room today, yesterday, when you barged into the room this session rather than last session, Corin seems surprised that you are here and like as if something is wrong. Yes. Earlier when you barged into the room, she was asleep. Sorry.
Okay. Well, she seemed a little bit surprised to see me, which I can only hazard a guess that perhaps maybe Razor let her know that we're on our way, but, we did travel quite quickly, so we probably got here a lot faster than Razor was expecting.
Does
How do we
Razor
know that she hasn't told Razor that we're here?
Does Razor know that we took what we took from the camp? Does she know that we know what we know?
What is it that we know that we know?
We know that Taloran is a brown ninja, and various elements of their individual stories and Corin's betrayal. I read that in a file.
Remind me about Talaran. I forgot.
She at least knows that I read Fazul's file because I sabotaged the entry and called him an incompetent jackass in it.
So you gotta change Talaran's art so he's got brown trousers on.
I can't. I made him very hot.
I'm so upset. Why is it the hot one that shorted?
Guys,
Can I use my birthday nat 20 to rewrite
this happens to people. Bad things happen to hot people.
we
Okay.
not shame him
No, they don't.
for shooting
That's not possible.
fantasies.
That's not possible.
People do shot.
No.
You cosplayed shot this weekend.
I did. But Shadowheart has not sharted.
You don't know that.
In my canon. In my playthrough.
Sometimes sharp things are meant to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move on from this.
Anyway,
Where were we?
Razor might know that I know about Corin because I did deface Fazul's entry of the enemy team's file, which was personally satisfying at the time, but I can now acknowledge my time in error.
Lots of things are personally satisfying at the time, but maybe
This seems to be a recurring theme for me, to be perfectly honest.
Okay, well, let's assume that the smart cult leader and spy were able to discern that we now do in fact know that Corin is a spy.
That they know that we know that
That
they
they
know
That
that
they
we
know.
know.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Well, they might think we're too stupid to figure that out, which honestly, based on what we've shown her, would be fair enough.
What, did any of you come face to face with Razor when we infiltrated her camp?
Oh, yes. Yes.
What was she like? Did she seem powerful?
Boring. She didn't want to kill us. Said a sad story about her dead wife.
She was a vengeful heretic.
Do you genuinely feel like she is someone that we could take in a battle?
Of course.
Absolutely not.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
What do you mean we can't take her in a battle? Of course we can take her in a battle. When she's not surrounded by her own forces and storm giants, we can kill anyone.
Casimir, please, I beg you. You are a smart man. You must understand that when someone sees evidence of practices of magic like what we have just witnessed, the corollary thought must be that the person who's able to do that is incredibly dangerous.
I mean, it wasn't her. It was her pale elf twins. You know, she has a gang working on it. She's just the head of the snake. We can kill the head of the snake, no matter how long it is. Cut it off. It's fine.
How
She's just a
exactly do you
woman.
know that?
Because I can do anything.
Okay, that is delusional.
It's self-belief, Mercy. You should try it sometime. You'll feel much better about everything.
I believe that things are what they will be.
And what will be is our victory.
No,
So, let's go to Captain Bran. And stage our heroic defense. He's just gonna pat Mercy on the side of the arm.
Mercy looks shook.
And he is
As
quite
a-
genuine in his self-belief. This is like completely... He truly thinks this is absolutely fine and he can take it. What was that, Quan?
As Casimir leaves and walks off, I guess, very confidently, Quan is going to whisper to Mercy, "Yep, no, I agree. We should definitely keep an eye on Casimir. Let's try and keep him out of trouble."
I thought he was meant to be the one to defeat Razor, but I cannot see that this strategy will be successful.
Well, we just have to have optimism and believe that whatever comes our way, we will find something, some way to tackle it. He,
Oh my
he doesn't
God.
look like he believes what he's saying, but
Quan,
But
not
then-
you as well.
I was like, Casimir's not as bad as he seems.
He seems! He seems lovely.
after he's just told us he wants to murder that person and
I think we can convince him. I see the
I think we can fix
see the
it.
good in people. We can fix him.
Ilara is such a Genki anime girl. Like, I love her so much.
He's clearly been harmed in his past. There's some healing to do there. We can help him expose this person as evil and, lock them in a dungeon. If that's what is right.
well said, Alara. I do agree.
What does Mercy
We can
think?
fix him, Alara.
Mercy just stares at all these people and just read things to themselves.
So, Captain Bran.
You can't fix him, by the way. You can try.
I
Captain
made him
Brand
unfixable on purpose.
It's fairly obvious when you approach. The guard are drilling, seemingly so. You see them kind of running up and down towers, getting. He was in here raving, getting towers ready, archery, and he's like, we're getting a lot. Oh, hello, Freya Roche. Getting ready. He is a tall, imposing figure. Age has slightly stooped his shoulders. Hair that was, black and grey mix. Face etched with kind of lines of concerns and what once would have been past smiles, but now is a very serious face. A very neatly trimmed build. eyes are as sharp as assessing blue. Functional armor, multiple dents, barely repaired beyond wearableness. And he's kind of marching up and down as he watches what is left of the guard. They're trying their best, but there's barely probably 15 of them still going. What once would have been an impressive figure to this backdrop is a little bit about somebody raging against the fading of the light.
Interstellar intensifies.
A poem long before Interstellar.
I'm pretty sure Mr. Nolan made that one.
Just made a sad noise when I said that phrase. So clearly agreeing with you. So, how are you approaching him, or are you?
Well, I guess
What-
Casimir gets there first, I suppose.
I think he pauses and watches the good men and women train for a little while. Will the gang catch up?
Okay, I guess we catch up at some point.
Sounds
I
bad.
was...
Sorry.
No, go on. I was just going to
Bran.
insult the townsfolk.
Turns round and notices you and those behind you, and eyes immediately train to Quan. Quan! Oh, it's so good to see you. And he runs up and kind of goes to grasp your hand and shake it.
It's great to see you too, Mr.
How long has it been? 4, 5 years? How's Tia keeping you?
Who, sorry?
Tia!
Yes,
Oh, come on. Haven't given up your vows, have you? You must have got my letters. This is why you're here, right? I
I'm
sent letters to
sorry.
everybody from the old companionship. I'm so glad you've come. We desperately need your help.
Ah, yes, Quan, Paladin of Tyr.
He's
That's
just
looking at him so
staring blankly at
It
the
was
guy.
bleedingly like, you are Quan, right? I wouldn't forget that face anywhere.
Sai's got to spill the beans now.
Yes, I apologize. I've had a rough couple of years and my memory escapes me. Do we know each other?
Oh, come now. You're not serious. You don't remember our times in Ironmoor. We served
It's
together for
deadly
6 years. You were my captain. I've met your mother, Josephine. And your brother, little Timothy. You don't remember any of this.
Little
This is
Timothy,
wrong.
Casimir says with a laugh.
I
I know there's
I
only one, but you've got 3 siblings. You don't remember any of this.
I'm I'm so glad to meet you. But I have to confess, I do not remember anything from the past many years. I was in an accident, so I'm extremely glad to see you and talk to you.
Insight check.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I want to do the same.
To who?
Yeah, absolutely.
You.
I actually want to insight check the guy.
That's a 19.
I got a 20.
I'm
Oh,
taking
I
all
thought
of us
so.
at face value. I believe y'all.
What are you insight check? Like, what are you looking for?
Just
Deception.
personally, what you're no, I mean, I don't think Pod's looking for deception. He's just looking to see how you feel. Like, obviously, you're handling it very politely, but he wants to know how you really feel.
Mercy would like to know whether the facade of "I don't remember you, I don't know who you are" is a lie.
What did you roll, Mercy?
20, 15 plus 5.
Uh,
I rolled 19.
It seems
us your
like to
secrets.
you. It seems like to you, Quan is completely embarrassed and flustered and has never seen this person in his life.
Who
And
insight checked him? Is that kind of
I did, but I rolled a 10 minus 1.
Yeah, that's what you'll feel. Then what are you doing here? You got my letter. That's why you're here.
I didn't receive a letter. No, I'm sorry. I'm here to track down Razor and help the people of this town.
Well, then some part of you must remember, because that's what my letter asked. I sent out letters to everyone I knew of any ability or influence who would come and aid us, and you don't remember me, but we were friends once. Soldiers together.
And what was it that we did together?
We were stationed at Ironmore. We had drills. We fought against some skirmishers or scouts from Abaddon's empire, make sure he was contained. We manned multiple fortresses along the Crooked Smile and the High Wall. None of this rings a bell.
You'll have to forgive me.
I saw you fight demons from the abyss.
Really?
In Tyr's name. All of it.
This guy fought demons from the abyss?
To
Oh
be
my God.
rude.
Quan is Talion from Shadow of Mordor.
Of all the
Jamie,
things that
Yes.
he's saying, that is the one that you doubt the most.
can I insight
Yes.
check? Did this guy, like, you know, when you spend 6 years fighting in the trenches together, do you sometimes, like, develop a bit of feelings?
Go ahead and insight check.
Yeah.
It's worth asking, isn't it?
Aaron's world of. Can
I'm
I
just-
ship it?
I'm
Does
just
it
here for the
ship?
ships.
Does it ship?
Is,
Alright.
is Jen here for a meme?
Jen, I hope you've got
we need a instead of will it blend, it's a does it ship situation.
Okay. I'm not gonna drop my nat 20 on this, so it's
Does
just
it
it's just
blend?
a 13. It's a 13.
By the way, can we just retcon something? I do not have a brother called Little Timmy.
Yes, you do now.
Your
You
mama,
fine.
Josephine, I call her Joe, by the way.
That's fine. You can change that if we want.
Joe and Little
Ishin.
Go, mama!
Ishin's better.
Joe Mama!
Go, mama!
I'm coming up with
Little
stuff.
Timmy's falling down the well!
So, what was your
Timmy
insight
is a
check on this
recurrent
guy?
character now.
Sorry, it was a 13.
13.
No.
No.
No
No
feelings!
Quan,
Lame.
something in the back of your mind. This man's face. You do remember. Remember a younger version of him. But his name was Bran Blackwood.
So I know for sure his name was Bran Blackwood.
Somebody in your past that looked like this man, his name was Bran Blackwood.
Who did you?
Can I insight check this guy to see how
Yeah, yeah.
honest he's been? Because I actually haven't rolled. That's a 13.
13. He's being honest to your recollection. He recognizes you. And to some extent, some part of you recognizes him.
Okay. I guess Quan is gonna say, well, like I said, I'm so glad to see you, and I'm here to help. I'm just sorry I can't remember.
We live in a turbulent and strange world. That's disappointing, and hopefully I can jog your memory, but I did beseech your help, and we need it now more than ever. It's good to see you, and I've never seen someone fight fiercer in the name of the Lord.
Quan looks very proud of that.
In the name of the Lord.
Their Lord.
The Lord.
Okay.
There is only one confirmed.
Well, here's the thing. He's our paladin, so you shan't be having him. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news. But we are here to kill a razor, so...
That's
I suppose
fine.
we'll
That's
get
a
what we
plan
want.
I can be behind. Offense is the best form of defense. I've been fighting a losing battle for far too long.
We want to know more about that, and also to warn you that she'll be here today, tomorrow. She'll be targeting the good folk in the church and potentially us. I believe you've met Malik and Saul.
Yes, momentarily. They seemed quite keen to get about their business. They just wanted to introduce themselves, let them know they weren't a foe.
I'm so sorry you had to speak to them.
Barbed, but they seemed perfectly pleasant.
Anyway, as Casimir said, time is sort of the essence.
Of
Should we
course.
share everything we know and we can hopefully put together a plan?
Well, as you can see, we used to defend the town a lot less intelligent than we do now, when we had the safety of walls, any kind of just as those that have been burnt down, garrison. We maybe took the threat a little too less seriously than we should have done. Razor tempted and tricked and draw us out by setting fire to things or stealing people from the town and covertly, and we sent raiding parties forward, and most of them were ambushed. Very few made it back.
How many people have you lost?
There used to be 500 people here. I think a good fifth of them have left. Fifth of them died. For about 50, 60 have been captured.
You know where she's taking them?
No,
Which direction is she heading in?
they attack from any direction.
Right.
And their tactics. What can
Yes,
you tell us?
they rarely attack frontal. It's always when they steal somebody you care about. We've, as I said, initially we sent raiding parties afterwards. Now we've let them go, but you kind of point to the tree line. It's spells flung, arrows sent, and our losses are less than what they used to be, but we're like a spiked tortoise, armadillo, whatever you want to call it, where every now and then an arrow or a spell finds its mark and we lose somebody. But they don't ever attack full on. It's clearly not their intention to wipe us out. They come in, they steal somebody, and we can't stop them.
How many people have they stolen?
Again, 50 to 60. I think I've lost count.
And do you believe that their aim is always to take prisoners?
Sometimes. I haven't always. Often they lay traps in the dead of night. My men miss it. A section of the wall, a house blows up. Gunpowder. Weaken us. Scare us. Once they set the boat to light, I thought that was to prevent us from leaving, but they don't seem to have done that again.
But scare you, weaken you to what end? You've already said
Submission.
you're on your last legs.
Every time they come, they tell us to surrender. It's a note that follows the day after.
So, she'll want to talk to the people in the church. She'll want to talk to them and scare them. Will she walk in? How will she do it? You know her tactics better than we.
Do you want us to pretend to surrender?
I wonder if that might be the play. Draw her in. And then we can all make a stand together. We at least know what she's doing this time. She'll want to be there physically in person to warn them all. She did much the same to us, not a few days past. She'll want to deliver the message personally. She gave us that courtesy. I can assume the same is true here.
And it might not have to be that Captain Bran that meets her.
So,
True.
I don't like deception. But
Then you're a fool.
I love deception.
Deception is just as good as a sword in the right hands.
Better than.
But in the court of justice, action is the gavel of truth. He looks to Quan almost as something you should know.
Action is the gavel of truth. Not elbow, Quan. I feel like you said that.
You did.
You're not reading from a book of prayer, Captain.
At this point, for a while, prayer's all I've had. If I invite her into the town, she brings people here. I am inviting misery upon these townsfolk. If what you do is wrong, we will have surrendered. Why should I trust you?
With all due respect, we've just met with Razor, and with the way that everything looks at the moment, and he mournfully looks over at the weak little trooplings that are punching towers and shit, it seems like it would only be a matter of time until we get to the same conclusion.
You've already lost, Captain.
I can have a joint persuasion roll from people. I'll let either one person roll with advantage or two people can roll.
I think, yeah,
Quan
Quan.
has to roll.
And maybe
Persuasion.
I will help.
Yeah, have the help action.
Are you ready, boys?
Let's go.
21.
That's great!
Yeah, let's
Yes!
go!
Anyone looks down at Quan, looks up. This path is often the hardest to walk. But walk it we shall. I will trust you, regardless of whether or not you remember. If this is what you think is best, I will place myself and my men in you and Tyr's hand.
I'm glad to hear it, and we'll do whatever we can to keep your people safe. And your town.
I would suggest, if you can put the townsfolk anywhere safe, board them up in the tavern, wherever is safest. Keep them out of harm's way. Things will get messy.
What assurances do you think you need to give Razor for her to enter this town? What will she need to see?
Mercy's face begins to change, and I'll take on the appearance of Captain Bran.
Ugh. Don't like shape changes.
Very
All she'll
judgmental.
need to say is your assurance.
And potentially a few additional offerings for her collection.
You'll just need to stay out of the way.
I'll consult with my men. But should you fail, we won't go willingly. Not that I suppose it will matter to you, but we will die rather than do it with her.
There'll be a signal, I'm sure.
The intention is to fight. No one will be going anywhere willingly. We know what she's doing to her captives. It's not good
I would
news.
say I held out hope, but I doubt it's productive.
Hope rarely is.
Keep your hope for your men, Captain.
What would you
Good.
like to know?
Who will assist us from where? Where you'll lie in wait to turn the tide at the church.
Looks up at the church. It's a difficult spot to ambush. Got a decent view on all sides. Maybe that's why it's not been attacked yet.
We could persuade Malik and his friends to be elsewhere. Take up residence.
What part do they have to
clear-
play in this plan?
They, like us, have been charged with killing Razor. She will go to them, warn them that she'll kill them if she sees them again. They are aware this is to happen. They'll bait her in, and then when the time comes, we'll all kill her together. They're strong.
Where would you set an ambush, Captain?
Kind of points over to what remains of kind of the town square. My men could position round. There's like 4 entrances to it. My men could position round. We could set charges that would go off and seal this in, turn it into a kill box.
Very good.
We
Well,
take
you're
position in the
warrior.
buildings
Mm.
and harass them the way they've been harassing us from the trees.
You're the military man, Quan. What do you think of this?
Juan gives Mercy a very disappointed look for putting him on the spot, knowing that Mercy knows he has no memory of anything. Well, I think we should trust in the captain here. He knows the lay of the land. He knows what's best for his troops. I just worry for the townspeople, and of course, for everyone here, including us.
Then perhaps we could put the townspeople in the church.
Or the townspeople could take up arms.
Well, then they'll definitely die, but they can.
If the guard falls, then they'll have no one. And they won't go willingly.
Can we hear Kale in the background?
No, I think that's a baby.
That's
I'm
pumpkin
sorry,
meowing.
that's my cat.
Okay.
Hale is currently a shrimp on the bed.
Aw. I think that considering Razor didn't destroy the church before, that probably is the safest place to keep the townspeople, because she seems to have some sort of reservation about attacking that building. And perhaps we can ask Priestess Sarah if there's maybe any sort of underground passageways that could lead out of the church, just in case it did come under fire, that the people could escape from. I'm a bit concerned about, holding them up inside some sort of tavern, just in case it went on fire or something like that.
I'm sorry, Toad, but I can't agree with grouping all of the townspeople in one place. I mean, surely, if we don't know the limits of Razor and her group's power, and we know that there's something strange going on there, I'd hate to think what would happen and what a huge target all the townspeople would have on their back should we put them all in one place.
That's true. Perhaps we should separate them into several groups.
Do we have enough ships to send them away?
No.
Right.
This is their home. If they wanted to leave, they would have left by now.
True.
Okay.
Those who are left are committed to this place.
Then we scatter them as far away from the town square as possible, I think. Fringes of the town, far out of the centre.
Dare I say, I don't think that Razor is going to be using the townspeople as fodder. From
we
what
know.
we've learned, doesn't she need them?
Didn't
We
she
know
use-
she'll steal them.
Didn't she use one for blood magic already?
Well, yeah, she's taken 50 to 60 of them already.
The other option is that we leave the town and we go meet her in the Reed Marsh. Wait, what was that, Jamie? What was the area
Reed Marsh,
surrounding?
yeah.
Reed Marsh? We could go meet her in the Reed Marsh and ambush
She
her
knows
there.
the area better than us. There's no way we'd get the surprise.
But you know the area quite well, don't you? And he turns to the captain.
I do.
Would it be possible to stage an ambush in the Reed Marsh instead?
If you know where she's going to be, my men and I can make it happen. The issue is we've never known in advance and been able to find out. We've always
can
been
find
on
her.
the back foot.
I have no idea where she'd be coming from. A general direction, but finding her could be difficult. Any attempt to scout it out might just result in her spotting us first. I think we can't assume, thinking about it, that Corin will have had time to contact Razor. She may well not know that we're here. Yet.
I truly think that a pantomime surrender, coupled with a town square meeting with our friends, would be good motivation to draw Razor into a location easily defensible and also, well, quite open.
You say, forgive me, you know that this other group, Razor intends to meet them. And
We do.
do you know how?
We do not.
Chances are it's in person. She gave us the courtesy of that the first time.
Then they know how to meet her. Or will.
They'll be giving a way to contact her, yes. I think the idea of the surrender is we're presenting her an easy way to speak to them, no?
Yeah.
I think it's a reasonable plan, honestly.
I'm glad to have some backup, and perhaps if Razor happens to stroll into town, maybe all our problems will be solved. But if she's coming here not to raid, but with the intention of conversing with the other group, maybe we let them set the trap.
Also, if we want her to stroll into the town and be unawares that we've set a trap, would not hiding all of the townsfolk maybe make it obvious that it's empty and they would get suspicious? I know that you're probably concerned about putting people at risk, but that might be the best way to achieve success, is to not even let the townsfolk know that something's about to happen. If she truly is coming in peace to parley, then, you know.
I doubt she'd come here in peace to parley. That's only in the event of a surrender, which I'd like to avoid, even in pantomime.
Do you have many mages? Could perhaps illusions of townsfolk going about their day be employed around the city?
The mages we have left.
Understandable.
Cowards.
Okay, out of character, what are we settling on? I'm confused.
I'm good with the set
So
up
you-
the
you-
kill box in the city center and just
So you have two plans realistically in front of you. One is to wait and see how Razor wants to target the other group and just ambush her wherever she's going to be. The other one is to pretend to surrender and draw her into the town. Those are your two essential options. You've narrowed it down to.
Well, I think we can plonk the enemy team in the town centre and artificially create that and sort of combine the things, right? Tell them they are going to be hanging out there, they are going to have a little bard concert, and that's where they're going to be.
It might be worth bearing in mind that Razor doesn't know, or at least you maybe presume she doesn't know, that the other party knows that they're going to meet her.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah.
the town surrendering and them meeting would be
Obvious.
potentially.
But if we have them just like vibing in the town square doing a little bard concert,
They might be approached in some way to it. So
yeah.
I'd say, like, without giving you guys too much information, the safest plan you guys have is to see if Razor doesn't know that you know that they know that we know. She's going to have to contact the other party some way or force them to meet.
So we just town square them, set up that kill box, they can be like, yeah, just come here, it's fine. Meet us in a public place, because that is safety practice. That's good safety practice in online meetups.
Thanks for that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good to remember.
Why are you accusing me of things, Erin?
I heard mad clicking and I just assumed you were playing TFT.
No.
You think
Yes,
this man can
CFT requires high APM.
ARAM?
slamming that
It
reroll
does
button?
on like a, yeah.
Someone log
when
onto
you're, like
League.
transitioning.
I'm
you know?
fine. Oh, I got to
Okay.
think fast.
All right. So, okay. Act natural, put them in the town square, they can handle it, draw her in, then we ambush. Plan?
Yeah,
Ah.
sounds good to me.
Sick.
Bran steps
Wait.
forward because if you're going to execute this, you gave me this once. It's held me in good stead. Even if you don't remember, I'd return it now, and hands out the sword and the scabbard to Quan.
What does it look like?
It's a fairly old leather scabbard, but as you presumably take it, and there's a slight, faint, like yellow glow to it, and there are words inscribed on the blade that says, "Justice is blind, but my sword is not."
Kind of dope.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna take it and.
It's a
Quan-
+1 sword.
Do we get a
fancy.
magical aura from this sword?
Oh, it's absolutely magical. Yeah, it's a +1 sword. It's an enchanted sword.
Oh, Quan, that is quite an interesting artifact. I could tell you a little bit more about it if you'd like me to inspect it.
Sure, thank you, Toad. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And he turns around to Brand. That's
Bran.
his name? Bran. Thank you. I appreciate that. And know that we are here to help you, and we will do whatever we can.
Strange. No different than I remember you.
I'm gonna take 1 minute to cast Identify on this sword.
It is a +1 Holy Sword of Tyr. When wielded by a Paladin of Tyr, does an additional D6 radiant damage with every strike.
Is he a paladin of Tyr anymore?
Now, my next question is, for me, and anyone else watching who doesn't know who Tyr is, can you give us a little bit of a lore dump on who Tyr is, please?
Yeah, Tyr is the leader of the high heavens, the god of justice. Various commitment to laws, the righteous wielding of power. Very much, if you're worshipping Tyr, it is to uphold law, justice, and therefore goodness, not only the letter, but the spirit of the law throughout the lands. Generally considered to be a good deity, to some extent, maybe overly zealous by the Immaculate Ecclesiarchy, but is the patron god of the Immaculate Ecclesiarchy as well. Ones who recently defeated the Mystic Academia.
So generally
Quan doesn't look like somebody from the Immaculate Ecclesiarchy.
What do
as
you
may remember.
mean? That's so. You can't just.
It's kind of
You can't
racist.
just. Yeah.
He's not
People
obvious
from the
looking enough.
people born and raised in the Immaculate Ecclesiarchy, as you may remember from the one-shot rerun where Lucifer was from there, have white hair and golden eyes due to their proximity to the high heavens for much of their life. So
Like Nalos.
I have white hair, my dear.
they're not golden eyes,
You don't got golden eyes, though.
glowing golden eyes.
I
So-
do have glowing eyes. Fuck you.
But they blue, ain't they?
So, the rest of you would presume that either this is a convert, there are many people throughout Lukai who worship gods that aren't necessarily their preserve, or Quan, they had their memories, perhaps was converted or a recent joiner to this order. Given that it's been 5-6 years, that seems unlikely, but it is not impossible for somebody to worship a god that isn't necessarily in their direct preserve. Dominus, for example, full of people who worship gods that aren't directly theirs.
Interesting. Okay.
Cool.
The places that
Generally-
the places that were being mentioned to you, to people who know the history of Lukai, are members of the Ironclad Alliance, which is a mix mash of multiple people who sign up to guard the area between this and Abaddon's Empire for the good of all of Lukai. It doesn't necessarily mean they're from that area.
Cool.
In general, generally is Tyr considered to be a good god, except for maybe people from the Mystic Academy
Yeah,
who are
Tyr
like,
is-
fuck that guy.
Tyr is a good god within Lukai. So Bran hands it over and says, "This held me in good stead, and you gave it to me, and I don't have memory. I think you need it more than I do in this moment."
Thank you.
No,
It's
we
nice
don't.
to see you again, even if you don't remember me.
We don't know when Razor.
Oh,
will
sorry.
be-
And to clarify, a second, and then the point is, it's weird. You haven't changed in 6 or 7 years. You look the exact same.
I mean, I don't imagine I look exactly the same, but thank you for the compliment.
Of course. Save the town and shower you with more, I'm sure.
Wow. Practicality, we don't know when Razor's arriving. Could you have scouts keep an eye out on the perimeter of Reed Marsh, perhaps?
Double
Any
the patrols.
disturbance? And we can tell our friends to set up position in the square.
My men will prepare. I suppose our doubled scouting surrender.
Excellent. Good. This will be fun. I'm
Captain,
excited.
Just to reiterate again, to alert the townsfolk would raise suspicion. If things go well, then we will strike before any harm comes to any of them.
I'll put my faith in Quan and you. But you are responsible.
How many
That will
people are
bear on
we?
each of you.
How many people
About
are we responsible for?
250.
Great. Good. Cool.
Oh,
Lara
that's
says,
normal. That's a
"Do not worry.
process.
We'll come up with a plan."
Yes, thank you for that, Alara.
I guess we should start getting ready then. Who knows
I
when
think
she'll
we should.
arrive?
Right, I think we should tell our friends about our plan. I hope they've had a good nap.
Oh, let's go wake them up again.
It's
I
about
think we'll need
midday.
to.
Surely they'll be
Midday.
unsleeping.
Already in the
They've
afternoon.
had like an hour, 2-hour
Yeah.
nap, maybe.
No,
while
they've had
we've
like
been
3-4 hours now. If
Oh,
you go
okay.
back,
That's all
they
right.
are awake as you return, and you can see that they are
Really?
kind of, yeah,
Are they
they are having
Oh.
they are having lunch, breakfast with them, kind of sitting around, and
Lunch you shouldn't have.
Yeah.
Jamie, are they exhausted?
no, they've now completed their full rest.
Have they? But we interrupted so many times.
Yeah, but
Is
it's
that
not
really
about
a
being
long rest?
interrupted.
We don't want this.
You need 8 hours of not doing anything particularly strenuous, and they've got up, had breakfast, gone back to sleep.
Okay,
We don't want them exhausted.
can someone record Jamie saying that? Because I swear that never applied to us when we were trying to have a long
Yeah,
rest.
why is it rule for me
So,
but not rule for thee?
To be clear, if you guys had 4 hours of rest followed by like a battle because you guys were ambushed, and then 4 hours of more rest, you'd get a long rest.
Dude, I had a fucking nightmare as Aku, and you were like, "You're exhausted."
Yeah, but that's because you failed a roll. And also, I just want to be mean to you, so it's fine.
That's because it fit my
Okay,
agenda.
now it
Okay.
makes sense.
That's fair.
Lunch.
This is my party versus your party.
You shouldn't have cooked for us, everyone. How kind. Just slot in.
Everybody sits down. Malik serves you all soup. It's not
Is it good
particularly nice soup. No.
Malik cooked the soup.
Yes. But he just he sits down next to Toad.
Hello.
Hello, Toad. I fear we've got off on the wrong foot.
Why do you think that?
Oh, you came to me with a gracious gift, and
I did.
I rejected it, and I'm
I did wonder
very
about
sorry.
But that's okay if you're
Lots of
embarrassed
people
about
assume
eating
that I eat
rats.
rats, and it's a reasonable assumption. I don't, but I shouldn't have been so rude. I
I was-
hope you can forgive me.
Of course, I was only bringing it with the kindest of intentions. I did not mean at all to offend you.
And I accept your apology, as I hope you do mine.
And I'll clasp his little paw and I'll say, apology accepted. May we be the best of friends from now forward.
Of course.
Speaking of rats, where is Archibald Wainwright? Has anyone seen him? Particularly long smoke.
Notably, Fazul is also not here.
Not Fazul. Not Casimir's boyfriend.
No.
Shut up!
I haven't seen him. Corin and Taloran. No, not mine. I could peer it to Lauren. Sorry, Nalos. I could peer into my ball if you'd like. See if I can divine his location.
And you know what? Yes, please consult your ball, Nalos.
She's kind of like, she's like, oh wait, where has it got? 2 seconds. She rustled through her bags. This is rather embarrassing.
Well, when was the last
Alright.
time you saw it?
Oh, it was packed away. It must have been back in Fort Valor, right?
Did you
Must be
leave
on
it
the
in
boat. I'm
Fort
sorry.
Valor?
No, I wouldn't have left it in Fort Valor. I just,
Is it quite an
fine.
important item?
yes, to me.
Oh, it's a wonder that you haven't noticed that it's missing until now.
I haven't needed it till now. We haven't, it's needed to cast it. I'll find it. Don't worry. I'm sure Arvis is fine anyway. He's a resourceful man.
Huh.
The Corin's here, yeah?
Corin is here, yes.
How the fuck do we get her to leave?
I could go have a chat with her.
What are you guys doing? Or are you retreating to plan?
No, we need to tell the other boys what's going on without Corin hearing, right?
Corin! And Toad stands up from the table quite suddenly. What are your plans for Alcrest? We need to go discuss. Are you going back? And he'll walk around the table and see if Corin will go with him to another room.
Of course. Present up for Malik if you wouldn't mind. And walks off to follow you.
Cool. I'll leave with Corin.
No. We have a plan, Malik and friends. Razor.
Indulge me.
Well, I guess we'll just explain it to them.
Okay,
yeah?
sure, yeah, let's go for it.
Let's
says,
start.
plan together. So the plan is Razor contacts us somehow. We tell her to come to the town. The town pretends to surrender, and then we ambush her. Yes.
No. You're having a... Griddle's putting on a concert in the town square. You're having a good time. She approaches you. One of her
Why
lackeys
would she
approach
approach
you.
us here if
Well,
she's
one
not
of-
allowed in the town?
One of her lackeys will approach you. Someone will
Okay,
contact
yes.
you. You'll say, yes, Razor. And he does an imitation.
An
You
unkind
will
invitation, I'm sure.
come to the town square. It is safest for us mutually there. Et voila, you will have your conversation.
So the town surrendering is a coincidence with our arrival.
No, the town won't be surrendering. We've eliminated that part of the plan, Jameis.
Very well. What will convince Razor to enter a town hostile to her?
Good disguise. She'll just wear a cloak. No one will bother her. She rules these parts.
Fine. Try it your way.
Well, unless you have any addendums to the plan. Where do you want to meet her? We want to put her in the town square so we can kill her.
I
most
didn't know
effectively.
until this morning I was meeting her, so I'd suggest it would be difficult to get her to come, but we can at least try. She can always just say no.
Malik, what are you going to do about that one?
I'm going to feed them false information. I'm going to tell them all the things that will directly contradict the plan. Maybe this is how I get Razor in. Let them know the town's defenses are destroyed. Let them know they're weak.
Corin is how we get Razor here.
Well, just as long as you ensure that Razor has one less allied combatant when things turn nasty.
I have a plan for that too. Never discard a tool simply because it's annoying.
A knife has two edges.
Quite. And I intend to make sure it cuts Razor. I doubt that's her real name, but I haven't been able to find the normal one yet.
As they're talking about the plan, Quan is going to look around and say, Malik, where is Fasol?
Sent him on an errand.
Are you sure you can trust him with that? He might trip and lose you 2 days.
An errand to...
Are you expecting me to finish that sentence?
Well, it must be quite important if, well, he's nowhere to be seen. Knowing that
He's
Razor
simply
could show
not
up any
here.
moment.
But you said she's not going to kill us. Fasol's a big boy and handle himself.
I doubt that.
What kind of vibe do I get from Malik when he's saying this? Is it like does he seem kind of defensive?
Yeah,
This is us.
oh no,
Can we
you don't
inside
need to
check
roll.
this?
He's very defensive. Like he's like, I'm not telling you. Bugger off is the vibe you're getting. You don't need an insight check for that.
I see. He
But
doesn't press it.
he will be back for the execution of the plan, yes?
Yes, whatever else he is, he can fight.
Fine. So long as he's here to help us kill Razor, that's all I care about.
Of course.
What's that meant to mean?
Means I agree.
Fine. Good. Great.
Not everything I say has a double meaning.
I don't believe that.
It's not that deep.
It's not that deep, bro.
Because I'm a cat.
You haven't known a cat to be straight about anything? No.
Well, at this point, I said, I really must go and find that orb, and begins to walk upstairs.
Oh dear.
You remember, Mercy stole it.
Yes.
Don't know what you mean.
Okay, good.
Mercy. I'll message you.
Oh.
That's never good.
Oh.
Secrets.
That's
Wait.
never-
We could do
what time is it?
whispers. We could all take our headphones off.
That's fine.
No, you don't even want the stream to know. Extra
Whoa.
secret.
Giga secret.
Giga secret. What could it be? Who knows? Hey, Mercy, that orb you stole was actually just a ball of glass. There's no magic to it whatsoever. Tolerate is a big faker.
Nalos.
Oh, Nalos. Isn't her last name
Talwyn.
Talwyn? Yeah.
Yes.
Nalos, Talwyn,
Nalos,
and
Talwyn, and
Taloran Bevan.
Taloran, by the way, has been completely silent the entire time, as has Gruff and
bless
Brutal.
him.
Oh.
He's still hot though.
He is still hot.
Just
Yeah.
a
Mercy
little
will stand up,
That hot
And-
little shit boy.
head outside, or head after wherever Toad and Corey went.
bit. Oh.
Oh. I guess we'll just sit having lunch until everyone reassembles. And then
Okay.
I think party we best place ourselves for
Toad.
ambush.
You walk away with Corin. What are you saying, or where are you going?
Just kind of like leading her down the hallways around the building, like just try to away from the dining room. I'm just gonna be like
Yes.
gesticulating and being
What
like,
is it you wanted?
So, Alcrest, you said that you saw me at one of the parties, right? So that means that you were also at the parties. So, this year's dress code, I wasn't really sure what they meant by, like, fanciful pinky fairy. Do you know what fanciful pinky fairy means? We don't have pinky fairies in our part of the world, so...
When did you see me?
Well, no, you said that you saw me.
I did.
Yes. So, I'm assuming that means that you were also in the courts?
Time to time.
So, what are you wearing to Alcrest?
Who are you, Toad?
What do you...
Why are you
name's-
there? You're not an elf.
Yeah, neither are you. Are you in disguise?
Said I'm asking the questions.
No, that's not very fair. This is a conversation. It's a back and forth, is it not?
Yes, and I asked you forth.
Okay. No, I'm not a human. I'm not an elf. There are many creatures that go to the Fey Courts.
What does the phrase "she's still alone" mean to you?
Jamie, what does that phrase mean to me?
Say it, make. Okay, you can make a history check for what you can remember in the past couple of.
She stood alone. History check. That is a 14.
14. It's one of the phrases that the reanimated servant said. Lilith stood alone, so that we may stand together.
Right. Well, is that not one of Lilith's teachings?
You know about Lilith?
Of course. Don't you?
Where did you learn that?
What do you mean, where did I learn that? Same place you learned that.
I learned it several months ago.
That recently? How interesting.
Sighs. Could I have a wisdom saving throw?
A wisdom saving throw. Ooh. She trying to read my mind. Ooh, that is a 16 plus a 6. So 22.
Okay. You feel somebody attempt to take over your mind.
And Charlie is in my mind with little tentacles going like this. Fuck off.
Yeah. Yeah, it fails. So you're staring intently at you and look frustrated for a second.
I'm just smiling pleasantly. It's quite recent, isn't it?
She starts walking off outside the building towards the forest.
But, Corn, you never answered what you're wearing for Alcrest. It's so important. We have to fit in. And he's gonna try chasing after her.
Okay. We'll explore what happens separately. Mercy and Toad. Well, Mercy leaves sometime after Toad. Doesn't return. The rest of the group finish lunch. You go to your rooms.
So at this point, that's just Casimir, Pod, and Quan, right?
Yeah, you're upstairs to the room. Arvis, Mercy, Toad. All missing.
And Alara as well, right? She's with us.
Alara's there, yeah.
Does it feel to the rest of you like our numbers are rather dwindling?
Well, they must be busy then. With something.
Arvis is cagey, but not this cagey? Is that just me?
It's only been half a day, Alara.
We've been breathing down each other's necks for the better part of 2 weeks. Really? This doesn't feel odd to you?
Feels a little odd, not gonna lie.
Well, anyway, I'm sure we'll see them soon. That was an inhale, Jamie.
Yep, sorry. Wolf's turn. Mercy. Toad. Mercy, you see as you exit the building, following the message you received. Out on the horizon, near the forest, a familiar dragonborn. As you see Corin off into the distance, about 3/4 of the way, Toad running after. A dragonborn steps out from behind the forest, and for a moment, you feel relief. It's Anduxor. Must have come himself to help you. Until your vision and Toad both go black. Toad, you as well.
Uh-oh.
The last thing you remember is seeing a dragonborn wearing a familiar robe, and that's your team's Mercy step out.
Do I have time to do anything?
I'll let you have one action.
Okay.
No pressure.
I'm gonna tear my red headband and throw it as hard as I can back towards the church.
Of course. Red headband. There's the guy. Yes.
Similarly, as I feel darkness coming over my vision and I'm falling towards the ground, I'll scoop Charlie from my shoulder and make sure he lands safely in the grass far away from me.
Yeah, both of you feel the touch of grass as you hit the ground. And think no more. Back to the room.
Chasm is probably...
Door
looking-
knocks.
Oh.
In walks in Arvis. Sorry if I worried you.
I wasn't worried.
Got a whiff of something I was looking for, but it wasn't there.
Looking for?
Oh, yeah. It's been ages since I've had some beef.
Fair enough. I suppose we better apprise you of the day's plans.
Has Arvis, like, I don't know, is it just me, like, thinking a rat eating a cow is weird?
Arvis is eating
Arvis
meat in front of
eating-
you. Yeah. He's eating meat. It's not
Okay.
unusual for him to be eating meat. Okay, right with the plans.
You've not seen Toad and Mercy, have you?
Oh, yeah. Toad she walked out with Corin, just round one of the stairs.
Right.
He walked out, sorry.
I'm sure they'll be back soon. Very good. Well, Arvis, we are preparing to ambush Razor.
Nods. But, well, where do you need me?
I think the town square, but it's rather on Malik and co. to determine whether or not they successfully goad her in.
So I've got time to practice.
Hopefully. We have asked that the patrols are doubled. We should hear when Razor's in the vicinity.
Wonderful.
And that will be our time to take up position.
I've been needing to do some of this, and you see him take out an alchemy set and on like whatever bedroll's been laid out and seems to almost like prepare for a second, and almost seem to begin to tinker away and begin to construct what you would imagine various bombs or things.
One. Paladin of Tyr.
Just need to run to the bathroom, but keep role-playing without me, bye.
That was
Small
quite a
managing.
revelation.
It's like sick-
I don't remember Pelor as one of his nicknames.
Well, you are just as confused as I am. I'm not entirely certain what's happening, but I do feel Pelor's presence, and perhaps I'm confused. I'm not familiar with Tyr, and I don't feel Tyr's... Well, I don't really know what it is I would feel worshipping a god such as him, them.
They're all cunts, paladins of Tyr. The main reason I didn't think you were a paladin is that you don't act like his in particular.
Well, I think, Casimir, that's very... He's struggling to find the right word to
No,
politely-
Arbors, back me up on this one. Paladins of Tyr, the worst, right?
Ah, yeah, self-righteous
Self-righteous
assholes.
cunts. Exactly.
I haven't
Well,
actually.
like any person in the world, there are different people. Everyone has their own way of worshipping. Everyone has their own goal and personality. You really can't lump a group of worshippers in the same. He's lost for words at how fucking rude Casimir is being. He looks genuinely offended, like,
Well,
at Casimir.
I'm sure you weren't one. I'm sure you were a nice paladin of Tyr. I hope. Maybe the memory loss is serving you well.
Well, Tyr's ideals are very venerable and respectful, and sure, people could be overzealous or use them for their own means, but there's nothing wrong with it.
They're
They're
unyielding.
Goods to aspire to.
Unyielding black and white thinking does not breed productivity, is what I find. They are particularly unhelpful wherever they go.
To be quite honest, Casimir, it sounds like you're speaking just from a bad experience rather than actually having any kind of insightful opinion on people who worship gods such as Tyr or Pelor or whoever it might be.
The man with no memory is accusing me of poor insight.
Well, that's what it seems to me.
Yes, it
You
was
are,
quite
after all,
ridiculous.
generalizing an entire group of people.
Not without good cause. I assure you
Clearly.
of that.
But you would accuse. This is clearly based on Prayer's autonomy. You think he's an evil man. He's not a servant of Tyr, is he?
No, he's not a servant of Tyr. A lot of his followers are, though. A lot of the Order preaches subservience to Tyr to suck up to the ecclesiarchy. Of course, none of them are genuine about it. They preach justice, and they exchange coin in the street and kill for fun.
Well, then they're not followers. True followers. They're not reveling the tenets, right? And that's presumably why you hate them. If they were good, it would be different.
They still draw power from him.
Maybe.
They're still supplied with it. Listen, Tyr does what Tyr does. He has a bunch of rules that his enforcers apply across the world. What I'm more interested in, Quan, is why you think you are a paladin of Pelor, a false god. And how you've come to be in this position, whatever your accident was.
I've told you everything I know. I don't remember the accident, otherwise I wouldn't be in this position. I don't have a clear understanding of everything in regards to what I did or who I was, and I've made that very clear. But what I do know is I don't walk around murdering or causing suffering amongst people, and I do know that I stand for a sense of justice and that I feel the presence of my god, whatever god that might be. I'm sure Tyr has his reasons for... Anyway.
I'm not accusing you of anything. If anything, I'm quite glad you are not the typical persona one would prescribe to the title of one of Tyr's devoted.
Well, if you're questioning which god to worship, I've got a very good one, actually.
No one is questioning which god to worship.
Well, I wasn't saying you were, but just in the off chance that you were, shopping about.
No, I will serve my deity and I will find the information I need to do what it is I have been summoned to do.
And which is
And
it?
I am proud of that. I just am missing some of the information.
Is it Tyr or Pelor?
Well,
For you?
I don't know that yet.
Could be Killenvor, maybe just saying.
Or Merkel, or Asmodeus, or a...
Podger scowls. They're very mention of the dead three.
Take your pick, Baal.
No mention of Bane because he doesn't exist.
Bane doesn't exist in this world.
Clearly.
I mean, if you wanted to be a, heathen, you suffering and endless
You want it to
torment,
be
then
just the worst.
then absolutely, why not worship Merkel? But
Well, perhaps, Casimir, you should be more grateful that I'm not what you describe, given your immoral and questionable decisions you have been making throughout the time that we've been traveling together. And if you don't mind, you'll excuse me to think about what it is I've learnt today. And Quan will pretty passive-aggressively slam the door, go back to his room, and make a prayer to Pelor.
That's passive.
Sure. Casimir,
strange definition of
pause.
passiveness.
Arvis, Ilara.
So
The plan proceeds
cards?
until you wait for an indication from Razor how they're going to message the others. For now, this afternoon, the others are missing. Casimir, what would you get up to?
Well, I think first as I slide to Pod, a moral and questionable decision-making. Really?
I mean, you did raise the dead like twice.
Is that amoral?
In some circles, most circles.
Why?
Generally, the dead stay dead. That's kind of the way that things are done.
Why? Why should they? Why is morality prescribed for practicality?
You
That makes no
have
sense to me.
opened an incredible. So and Pod begins to just list off pretty much whatever Bible Calivore has written as to why it is important
hello,
that
Eden.
death continues the cycle that it should, and that the general cycle of things. And unless you interrupt him, he will just keep going.
He'll
if
probably
anything, you're
interrupt
impressed
it-
by his knowledge.
It probably is quite impressive. And probably at some point he says, I am actually astonished that you have memorized all of this extremely weighty and dull text. I tend to
Nothing dull
find
about it. I always read it before I go to sleep.
I tend to find the gods' perspectives as opinions, which I don't always prescribe to. They have differing and quite wild ones. And Kellenbor's is a perspective, shall we say.
Mid this debate, Ilara leaves, by the way.
Now, Pod, if you'll excuse me, I have preparations to do for tonight as well. And he's going to pull out his spellbook and resume his... You're not entirely sure exactly what it is he does when he pulls out his spellbook, but he
First
seems
Bible
to
school.
be... Well, sometimes, but sometimes he seems to be tracing runes in the air, retracing them, changing things, sparks appear sometimes shards of bones. He seems to be doing wizard maths, and you're not sure to what end, but he seems pretty focused on it.
Upon you leaving, Casimir leaving, Pod would not even skip a beat. He'd just continue explaining it to Arvis until Arvis.
Oh yeah.
Which I imagine Arvis would probably at some point ask for money.
So here's the thing.
I think
It reminds me
probably
of Twin
probably a bit pissed off by what Quan had said about his amorality and questionability. He'll probably go outside and throw fireballs at a wall. Fireballs.
Firebolts, not firebolts.
Fireballs. He doesn't know that spell yet.
That's fine.
Still before.
Not yet.
That's fine.
I
Quan,
don't remove curse yet. I don't want it.
there is a slightly tentative knock on your door.
Otto?
Come in.
The door opens and there is Alara standing there looking a tiny bit nervous.
He likes him.
Laura, I'm sorry you had to witness that. Is everything okay?
No, yes. I think it's good that people are reminded that we're on a mission for good, and I wanted to offer to help you. She kind of smiles a little bit.
Thank you. Sorry, help me how?
Well, I think it's rather unfair the way everybody's just kind of treating you and expecting to, you don't have any memories, and it's not your fault, and they aren't coming back. Nothing seems to be jogging them. So I know a lot. I've traveled a lot, and I'd be really happy to, I guess, teach you about things. Make sure that you know what's going on. If I could.
That is
She's asking you out.
very kind, my lady. And I have no doubt that you are very educated in the ways of the world. To be frank, I don't know where to start. It's a matter of I really don't know what it is I don't know. As embarrassing that is to admit.
That's fine. We can start with the gods. I mean, if you're sworn to Tyr, you should at least know who you're sworn to and a little bit about them and geography, I suppose. And she kind of whips out a map of Lukai, kind of lays it down on the ground, and begins explaining each of the preserves to you, and like each of the gods who rule them. And goes through kind of the tenets of Tyr and pauses every now and then, and is like, does this all make sense? Is this bringing anything back?
It's not bringing anything back, but it is incredibly helpful, thank you.
Okay. Well, Tyr, of course, is the ruler of the high heavens, and some people worship him, and you can see, these are the various tenets and kind of list them down: justice, lawfulness, abiding, understanding, enforcement of justice. Some people accuse the Immaculate Ecclesiarchy of being a little bit too zealous, and that can be the case, certainly, and people can twist goodness, but that's not you, is it?
Well, I'm glad that you think so.
She kind of tentatively touches your hand. Is like, are you okay?
It's mad flying.
He's touched his hand?
And this is even after you said "my lady" to her. Like,
I know.
I mean,
Well,
didn't
Like,
we
you must
ask
be
Jamie who
attractive.
Alara would have a crush on, and he said it would be either Quan or Arvis?
Wait, Arvis?
wait,
What the fuck?
Because Arvis rescued
There's a-
her. Arvis rescued her.
I don't know if I said Arvis.
His hot breath tickled her neck.
Yeah. fanfiction
We were all
material.
there, y'all.
you got the two.
We got the bod.
You got like the two, the two
have
generic
receipts.
crushes.
Laura kind of takes her hands away. It was almost like it was slightly involuntary. And is like, this must be a lot.
Well, it's nice to hear someone say that. It has felt rather overwhelming, but I'm sure with a capable group like ours, we will be fine. And hopefully in the next couple of weeks I'll feel a bit more acclimatized to everything. But I do appreciate this, Alara. It's very kind.
I can only hope it's helpful. How did it feel when Bran talked about your family? Do you remember them at all?
I don't think I remember anything. I have small pieces here and there in my dreams, in my thoughts, but I don't remember a family as such. But hearing Bran talk about it has been relieving to know that I have people that hopefully miss me and that I'm not alone.
You aren't alone.
God, Laura's so fucking cute.
He wants to meet his family.
And if any of this jogs anything, then that's great. But if not, I'm happy to keep teaching you about this world and what you've lost. If you'll let me.
Yes, I think that sounds like a great idea. I would hate to put us in danger just because of my lack of understanding. And also, just as a side note, what's Wednesday in this world? What's the name for Wednesday?
I'm desperately getting up my own calendar, which does exist.
Okay.
In the 12 days.
That's fine. The DM doesn't even know, so I don't need to.
Yeah, that's absolutely fair. I need my own calendar to reference stuff. Wednesday will be the 3rd month, so it's Hallows Day. So it's...
Oh,
Wait,
Oh.
is it? Oh no, we lost
Jamie
them.
die.
He dropped lore and then peaced out.
Oof.
Just,
It's
I
Hallows
just
Day,
attempted
bitch.
to ring.
Wait.
I just attempted to ring Sai on the side and be like, "Wait, we're taking this private." Hallows
Wait.
Day,
But Hallows Day is the 4th day of the week.
is it?
Yeah. I'm looking at your calendar right now.
You're like the
Wait, but
class
there are
bat.
12 days in this week,
Sorry.
so there's no direct
Yeah, sorry.
relation to Wednesday.
Hallows Day is the 4th day of the week.
Yeah, no, it's the 3rd Flames Day. That's it. Flames Day.
Flames Day.
Yeah.
Flames Day.
But it's spelled Flams Day.
Wednesday.
Flames Day.
Well,
So,
this whole confusing conversation about not knowing the days of the week has just happened between Alara and Quan. Let's just say that.
Okay, no, it's Flames Day. It's spelled Flames Day, but pronounced Flames Day. It's an old Tiamat. The first half, the elemental plane of fire. She's the god, so that's why there's 12 days, each one for each preserve, and 12 months each for each preserve. And this isn't making any sense, is it?
Flams Day.
What
maybe.
is Quan triggered?
Fine.
Yes.
Okay.
That's a word we can't say. Absolutely.
Damn it.
Yeah, it's like seeing your expression drop. Oh, maybe not the 3rd day. Maybe the 4th day. I'm
He's
sorry,
just
did I upset you?
staring off into the distance. No, sorry.
Looking like he's having Vietnam War flashbacks.
Yeah. Well, sure. It might not be the time now, but that triggered something, right?
Well, you could say that.
I'm sorry.
But today's been a lot, so I appreciate it, Laura, and perhaps we can continue this once we survive Razor's... well, whatever it is Razor's planning to do.
Of course, and I'm happy to teach you whatever you want, and if anything's unsure, just let me know, okay?
Thank you, and I do hope we can succeed in helping you reach the position that you've been aiming for so long. Know that I will do everything in my power to try and succeed, at least.
I don't really mind if I rule. I just want to help people.
want everyone to have fun.
One wholeheartedly agrees with that.
Cool. And
That was so
leave it there.
warm.
And as Alara leaves, interrupted by Casimir firebolting a wall furiously on the other side of the church.
Yeah, throughout this whole conversation, you just had pew, pew, pew. The occasional loud one, as maybe there's a nat 20, and some sad ones that go off on nat ones.
Sad fireballs.
Why are you such a fucking chaos gremlin, dude?
If anyone
And-
comes to the church to pray, they probably just get like firebolts shot past their head at the wall. Gab loves the man working hard.
And given the time, with a couple of your group missing, and the plan perhaps in set, where we're going to leave it, where we're going to say goodbye to Baron for 3 whole sessions,
No.
and we will have guests. A guest next session. If you're all looking forward to that, and thank you everybody. A slightly quieter, lower tempo session, but lots of reveals. I hope. Goodbye. Thanks for watching, and I
Thanks,
hope you all had fun.
everyone. See you soon.
Bye bye.